What up? What up? What up? We back. Welcome to the remix with Cali Dre, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? And we back to do another one. You feel me? But yeah, man. We finna get to it tonight, man. Had a whole nother show planned. Oh shit. My motherfucking mic. What up? What up, man? You know what I'm saying? We back. Niggas in here talking my shit on mute. You know what I mean? Look, that's what happened when you press the button earlier than you're supposed to in this motherfucker. You feel me? What it do, man? Welcome to the remix with Cali Dre. You know what I'm saying? And we back. You know what I mean? We're gonna get right to it. You know what I mean? You know how we do it. You know what I mean? We're gonna get right to it. Tonight, man, had a whole nother show planned for y'all, man. But shit, things change, man. Things change. The show must go on in this motherfucker. You feel me? The show must go on in this motherfucker. So we back, man. We here, man. What's up with y'all, man? How y'all living tonight, man? You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for rocking. You know, I appreciate all the support. Definitely keep getting the views up. Keep them subscribes up. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, we're going to get to it tonight. As y'all see, tonight I'm vibing out on some hip-hop shit. Definitely, I've been on my hip-hop shit all day. And, you know, we're going to take it back a little bit to the golden era. You know what I mean? When this shit was real and you know, when it was authentic. You know what I'm saying? But before I do that,
money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mom about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my
yeah. We back. You know what I'm saying? We back. Yeah, I mean, like we never left this motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the title said tonight, man, we on some real deal hip-hop shit, man. You know what I mean? I've been sitting back all day, vibing out the music, man, just trying to get my mind right on the things going on in my motherfucking life. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I've just been rocking out on this hip-hop shit. But a lot of this new shit is trash, man. A lot of this new hip-hop is trash as fuck, man. I gotta be honest with you. It ain't no feeling into it. Ain't no authenticity, man. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker sound like that motherfucker. This motherfucker look like this motherfucker with all the dreads and shit. Like it's all, you know what I mean? It's all a blended gumbo of bullshit to me. So, you know, tonight, man, shit, fuck it. I'm taking it back. You know what I mean? We're gonna take it back a little bit, man. I'm very much interested in the story of, you know, hip hop of yesterday when the music was much, much better, when niggas was really writing their shit, when they was really out here living their shit. And it was for a purpose, right? It wasn't about senseless nonsense, right? It was about feeding families and protecting blacks and doing, you know, grown men type of shit. And so, you know, we're gonna look back on a couple of the greats, man, a couple of the legends. You know what I'm saying? I want to look back a little bit on Pac, Tupac Shakur. I want to look a little bit back on Biggie Smalls, man. And you know, that's kind of what I'm on tonight, shit, you know. So we ain't breaking no news down tonight, man. Like I said, I had a whole nother show planned, but you know what I mean, shit fell through, man. You know what I mean? So shit, the show must go on, man. And we back. You know what I mean? Welcome to the remix with Cali Dre, man. Cali Dre in the motherfucking building for sure, man. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, this is what we doing tonight, man. This is what we on tonight, man. I'm on this Tupac and Biggie hip hop controversy conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm feeling tonight. So hopefully y'all rocking with me, man. If y'all rocking with me, post something up, roll something up, light something up. You know what I mean? Definitely subscribe to the channels, man. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, all that, man. But yeah, we just gonna rock out a little bit, man. I'm not even finna waste no motherfucking time. You know what I mean? I found a few videos I want to go through and you know what I'm saying, chop it up with the people about, get some get some controversy and conversation going about some of this shit. And yeah, man, hopefully shit, we can come to some answers and find some conclusions. You know, the murder of these two young men is still unsolved. And so, you know, there's been a lot of information floating out there over the years, man. And you know, me, I've stayed tapped into it. You know what I mean? I've most definitely kept my ear to the streets because it's what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? East Coast, West Coast. I was at the height of my days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean? And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. The music's still better than the shit I'm hearing today. Man, that All Eyes on Me album. You throw that motherfucker on right now. Man, Machiavelli, throw that motherfucker on right now. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, yeah. You still gonna get a lot of action. Motherfuckers gonna be up off their motherfucking seat, you know what I mean, doing what they gotta do. And these two was the pioneers, man, of that. You know what I mean? I think these two, you know, they at the time, you know, you talking 91, 92, 93, 94, you know, black representation in music was still very low. You know what I mean? Hip hop hadn't fully taken its you know, its shapes that we've seen the last 20 or 30 years. It was, you know, it had just kind of gotten commercial with Run DMC doing the Walk This Way with I forget, I think it was Aerosmith. I think it was the name of the band that they collabed with. But yeah, man. So, you know, back then, you know what I mean? To me, the music was true, man. You really had a group of people sitting in a room eating a bucket of chicken, you know what I'm saying, writing them rhymes. You really had motherfuckers in the studio all night, you know what I mean, listening for the beat, you know, the right kicking, putting the right snare to this and that, you know what I mean? And that's to me, that's the magical part of this shit, man. You know what I mean? I dabbled a little bit in the music shit. You know, the homies who know me know, you know what I mean? I wasn't afraid of the microphone, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've always had an appreciation and a passion just for music, you know what I mean? The arrangement, you know, writing the songs, getting these collaborations together, finding the right beat to match with the right hook, you know what I mean? And just getting to it, man, and making that magic, you know what I mean? And it's nothing better. I'm trying to tell you, listen, I had a little bit of local success where I'm from, you know what I'm saying, out here in Cali and in the music shit, you know, but just local. It wasn't nothing super major, you know what I mean? But hey, listen, that shit feel good, man. When you riding I'm riding to the beach 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Somebody pull up beside you playing your shit. You know what I'm saying? That you didn't even know was out yet. Somebody done leaked your shit out in the street. So it's a whole different feeling, man. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I've always had an appreciation for the entertainment game and just for hip hop and music in general, man. And so, you know, tonight, man, we're gonna appreciate, you know, the greats, man. We're gonna look back on the greats. It's been a lot of interviews that's popping up about, you know, Tupac, about Biggie Smalls, and I want to dive into some of the things that, you know, that has been said. Also, you know, I want to start to, you know, I've been debating if I want to get into, you know, the crime side of what happened to these guys as far as the assassination and who's actually responsible. Because, you know, there's a series of videos out there that, you know, give the best accounts that I've heard of what's happening. And they're coming from a pretty official source, you know, I'd say, as far as investigations are concerned, that being the FBI. And so, you know, I may start to dive into that today. That's why I put a volume 1 on this shit. You know what I mean? If people feeling it, man, I may, you know, continue to dive into this. But, you know, I'm just trying this out, man, for the first time. We're going to see how I do, you know what I mean? But we're going to get into some of these videos, man. I want to walk y'all through a little bit of the history of the game as far as, you know, East Coast, West Coast, Tupac and Biggie, and what their significance in the game is, right? And also just try to hear from the people themselves, man, hear from the men themselves about, you know, situations and things that was going on at that time. And so without further ado, man, shit, we're gonna get right to it, man. That's the only way I know how to do it, man. Get the likes up. It's the remix with Cali Dre, man. We vibing out on some hip hop shit tonight. Pac and Big. Let's get it, man.
Tupac and Biggie's death shocked the rap game back in the 90s. And years later, the case is still unsolved. Today, we're breaking down the crazy theories about who took out the greatest rappers of all time. they went from being
What's going on here, man? We having some technical difficulties already out the gate, man. Listen, they don't want me to give flowers to the guys, man, to the legends, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how this shit go, man. When you trying to do some positive shit in life, man, it's always somebody trying to fuck that shit up, man. Get the likes up for your boy, man. Get somebody from Geek Squad tap in with your boy. This is why I don't trust that AI shit, man. They can't even get the internet shit right, but this is why I don't trust the AI shit, nigga. My bill is paid on time every month, nigga, except for last month, nigga. That might
rap
you
game
like
back
that.
in the 90s. And years later, the cases still aren't solved. Today, we're breaking down the crazy theories about who took out the greatest rappers of all time. Before we dive into who killed Biggie and Pac, we have to take a look at how they went from being homies to sparking the biggest war in rap history. Tupac was already popping off back in '93, while Biggie was just getting started. Even though the East versus West Coast war is over now, there's still some tension. But back then, there weren't any issues. Biggie flew out to LA and asked a dope dealer to introduce him to Pac. And when Big rolled up to the spot, Pac was playing his first hit, Party and Bullshit. There was already a lot of respect between them, and they ended up getting tight super fast. They would hit the stage together in New York, and Big would even crash on Pac's couch when he was in LA. Before Biggie started his Junior Mafia crew, Pac allegedly wanted him to join his Thug Life collective. Biggie turned him down to make his own lane, but at one point he actually asked Pac to become his manager. Biggie and Pac could have taken over the entire game together. But then everything changed after Pac was shot in New York. In '94, Pac went to Quad Studios to meet Biggie and Diddy to record a feature for a dude named Lil Sean.
Yeah, y'all remember this. You know what I'm saying? This was the first Tupac shooting, Quad Studios. Actually, you know what? There's a video that I might break down on that. A couple of guys that claimed to be involved, kind of spoke out. And I thought what they had to say was pretty interesting, man. I'm telling you, I'm deep in this shit. I didn't watch so many of these videos trying to uncover the truth just for myself, man. You know what I'm saying? I got that analytical mind, Pocket Gemini, you know what I'm saying? And him, Pac and Big's legacy at that time in my teenage years was the biggest shit. You know what I mean? It was the biggest shit in the world. I listen, let me break this shit down to y'all before we get even deeper into this shit, right? All Eyes on Me drop. I'm probably in high school, right? All Eyes on Me drop. I had basketball practice. We in a gym, big ass gymnasium. You know what I mean? We about to start practicing shit. The homie come busting through the door. He got the All Eyes on Me joint. You know what I'm saying? We pulled the big arena speakers out. You know what I mean? Throw the first disc in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you had to put that CD in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Throw the first disc in that bitch. You know what I mean? Crank that motherfucker up. And let me tell y'all the realest shit. I have never in my life seen a whole arena full of motherfuckers quiet for the entirety of us playing that out. Had to have been a good 45 minutes, an hour. Motherfucker, it was the hardest shit that you ever heard at that time. The hardest shit on the streets, period, hands down, real deal. You know what I'm saying? And so that shit left a lasting impression. I've cracked a lot of albums open. You know what I'm saying? I've looked at a lot of reactions to albums, and there has not been one scenario that has matched up to the day that All Eyes on Me dropped. You know what I'm saying? It was the hardest shit anybody had ever heard at that time. And Pac was on this shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's why we love Pac too. You know what I mean? And I think at this time where we at in this political environment, man, Tupac represents to me a lot of things, but one of the most important things is that he stood up and spoke truth to power. And I think that's very much lacking in today's society, man. And that's why I always try to get a real ones they flowers, man, because you can tell the real from the fake, man, when the rubber meets the road. You know what I mean? And having a spirit like that and being willing to stand on all 10 for what you believe in and standing up for the people and for children and for elderly and for Black people, you know what I mean? And really, really standing on it. You know what I'm saying? Not making no excuses about it. You know what I mean? Not taking no shots on it. That's all shit, you know what I'm saying, that I was raised to believe in. And so that's why the legacy you know what I'm saying, of Tupac for sure, but also of Biggie as well, because they, to me, intertwined. You know what I mean? Uh, you know, they can't be touched, man. That's legendary shit. That's at the top of the mountain, the Mount Rushmore, whatever you want to call it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's an era, the golden era of this whole shit, right? Because there was a lot wrapped up into it, right? It wasn't just, oh, you know, the way was paved, right? Nah, these brothers did all this without the internet. I think Tupac may have only left the country one time, or maybe I think he don't even I don't even think he left the country. Maybe he did once to do that fashion show in Milan or something like that. But these brothers had worldwide appeal, worldwide support, worldwide influence before the internet. You know what I'm saying? There was no internet. You feel me? There were no cell phones. I mean, there were the big ass joints, but there wasn't no camera phones on the motherfucker where you could upload and post and tweet and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give respect where respect is due. Just like, you know, Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? One of the greatest, probably the greatest entertainer to ever live. You know what I mean? You know, these cats did it at a time when, hey, motherfuckers was trying to rape you out of all your money. Salute, Uncle G. Appreciate you for rocking with me. He said Gene Deal story never changed at all back then. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you some real shit, Uncle G. You know, a lot of people give Gene Deal a lot of flack. I am one to believe that his stories have been consistent as well. I mean, as wild as some of them may have been. You know what I mean? You know, I listen, I'm 50-50 on Gene Deal, you know what I mean? I think sometimes he cap, but sometimes he telling the truth. But I feel like, you know, about the situations about Big, there's a lot of consistency. And actually, if I break down some of this content that I'm thinking about breaking down, you'll find that the FBI also found Gene Deal, you know, pretty credible. You know what I'm saying? And they go on to say so. And some of this material that we may look at a little later, man. But yeah, I'm just vibing, reminiscing on this golden era of hip hop shit. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. It's the remix with Cali Drake, man. Let's get back to it.
Sean's manager was a dude named Jimmy Henchman, and Biggie knew being around him would cause drama. He warned Pac to stay away from Henchman, but Pac didn't listen, and what happened next is what made everything fall apart. According to a dude named Dexter Isaac, Henchman paid him $2K to rob Tupac that night at Quad Studios. When Pac walked into the lobby, he got ambushed by 3 dudes and ended up getting shot 5 times. Nobody knew who was behind it back then, but Pac started blaming everyone. He thought Biggie might have set him up, and Biggie's track "Who Shot Ya" just made everything worse.
So look, let's spin that back a little bit, right? Because he said nobody back then kind of knew what happened to Pac, and there's some actual controversy on that, right? Because I heard a few different things about that situation, man. I heard that, you know, that members of Bad Boy were, you know, with the head of Bad Boy was with this guy right here in a room, ducked off somewhere as the event's taking place. We know that some of Junior Mafia was in the
Quad Studio.
Yeah, at Quad Studio. They was at the top of Quad Studio doing another joint, doing another record, you know what I mean? And so there's some controversy as to who knew what, right? Ed Lover, you know what I mean? World famous pioneer of this whole hip hop shit, Yo MTV Raps, Ed Lover, famously says that Pac knew who shot him, and he knew that Big wasn't involved. Ed Lover was they was all a crew. Ed Lover, you know what I'm saying? Pac's people, Pac and his crew, Big and his crew. I think Puffy, I think to a certain extent. You know, from what I understand, they was all connected, pretty close friends at one point. You know what I'm saying? And various things happen. Friendships start to go in different directions. You know, people start signing with different labels and different shit start happening on the street. But at one point in time, you know, this whole big group of people was friends. And that's one thing I always give a lot of respect to New York about, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of the stories that I hear from the hip hop golden days, 80s, 90s type shit, is that a lot of the artists back then were very visible in the hood, right? They did go back and they did, you know what I'm saying? They did spend time on the block. They did, you know, connect with the cats in the neighborhood to try to get them a way out, help them see a different route, you know what I'm saying, type shit. And so that's where a lot of those relationships with the celebrity New York artists, they had real street ties, you know what I'm saying? And so I always gave New York credit for that because I thought that was real dope, man. On the West Coast, it ain't really like that, you know what I'm saying? It ain't really like that. But let's get back to this video a little bit, man. I'm just vibing out tonight, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy.
When Pac walked into the lobby, he got ambushed by 3 dudes and ended up getting shot 5 times. Nobody knew who was behind it back then, but Pac started blaming everyone. He thought Biggie might have set him up, and Biggie's track Who Shot Ya just made everything worse. Big denied that the track was about Pac, but that didn't stop Pac from taking it personally. At that point, they still could have squashed it and moved on.
Hey, so look, a little inside tip on that, right? You know what I'm saying? I've said this before on other platforms, man, but you know what I mean? I happen to actually know, you know, a couple motherfuckers that, you know what I mean, that actually was at Bad Boy during this time. And so the Who Shot Ya record, right? The Who Shot Ya record definitely was intended to capitalize off of the shooting of Tupac Shakur, most definitely. And that's been pretty much solidified, right? And that was told to me point blank. You know, there was a level of envy, and I don't know if it was all out hatred, but most definitely envy and you know what I'm saying, in some of the hearts of the people in that building. And so, you know, they wanted that shine that Pac had. They wanted to be Pac, for lack of a better, you know what I mean, way to say it. And so the Who Shot Ya joint was definitely campaigned and pushed on Big, I think, to capitalize on Tupac being shot that first time in Quiet Studio. Just the remix with Cali Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, man. I'm on this Pac and Big shit tonight, man. What's going on with this video though, man? Give me 1 second, man. Oh, there we go. I think it's coming back. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, in between time, man, get them likes up. Subscribe to the channel, man. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, usually chopping it up about some politics, something like that. But tonight, man, kind of vibing out, trying to vibe out on this hip hop golden age shit. But of course, soon as I take it off the stage, the motherfucker want to play. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't even trust the AI shit, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Motherfuckers can't even get the internet right. Soon as I click this shit off the stage, the video want to come back like the shit been playing the whole goddamn time, bro. Get the likes up, bro. This is what happens with live fucking TV, I suppose.
When Pac walked into the lobby, he got ambushed by 3 dudes and ended up getting shot 5 times. Nobody knew who was behind it back then, but Pac started blaming everyone. He thought Biggie might have set him up, and Biggie's track Who Shot Ya just made everything worse. Big denied that the track was about Pac, but that didn't stop Pac from taking it personally. At that point, they still could have squashed it and moved on. All they needed was a conversation to clear everything up, but then Suge Knight got involved and there was no going back. Suge jumped in the situation to bail Pac out of jail and sign him to Death Row Records. He knew that the drama would sell records, so at the '95 Source Awards, he went on stage to diss Diddy and set off the entire war. Questlove said that it felt like a bomb was about to detonate that night, and within a month, someone had already been killed over it. A dude from Death Row named Big Jake was killed in Atlanta, and Diddy's homie Anthony Jones was allegedly the shooter. Then Snoop Dogg's trailer got shot.
So, so that's one thing that's definitely been cleared up, which is that I don't think Wolf Jones, which is seated right here to the passenger seat of Biggie of Sean Combs, I don't think he was the shooter of Jake Robles in Atlanta. There's been confirmed reports of people that was there that say Jake didn't pull the trigger, and it was somebody else that was in their entourage that did. And so that's a point of controversy. I'm not 100% certain that Big Jake pulled the trigger. that Wolf pulled the trigger on Big Jake Robles.
Someone had already been killed over it. A dude from Death Row named Big Jake was killed in Atlanta, and Diddy's homie Anthony Jones was allegedly the shooter. Then Snoop Dogg's trailer got shot up while he was shooting a video in New York, but luckily no one got hit.
Okay, so this is another incident right here that later on I'm gonna show y'all another video of somebody that was there at that time. And we're talking about this incident. And that incident where Snoop Dogg's trailer was shot into actually sparked a lot of the animosity, a lot more of the animosity, you know what I'm saying, and the hatred and the fuel to that East Coast, West Coast fire that anybody knew, because Death Row basically went out there to kind of stand on business for Snoop, you know what I mean, after this. And then Snoop gets on the radio, Hot 97, and you know, y'all know how that go. Then he's talking about he's on the plane, in the back of the plane with the screwdriver or the spork or whatever the fuck he had. Yeah, I mean, that whole shit. So keep that in the back of your mind, man. You know what I'm saying? This the remix with Cali Dre, man. I'm vibing out on this hip hop shit, man. We on some Tupac Biggie controversy conversation tonight, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, though.
By that point, the war was already active, but Pac put it in the spotlight when he dropped the track Hit 'Em Up and aired out Biggie and the whole East Coast with lines like, "First off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. West Side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life. Plus, Puffy trying to see me, weak hearts I rip. Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia, some mark-ass bitches." There are rumors that Pac only went so hard with the beef and recorded so much music because he was afraid of Suge and wanted to get away from Death Row. So he wanted to get his contracts over with, and that's why he might have been killed in Vegas. Pac and Suge went.
Uncle G said Frank Alexander's story of everything happening in Vegas was on point too. Yeah, man. You know, Big Frank, man, I thought what he spoke with a lot of sincerity. I thought, you know what I'm saying, he definitely told his version of the truth. And you know, I had no reason to really doubt the things that he was saying. And when I looked at the interviews, salute Cashback, salute, man. But yeah, Frank Alexander, man, definitely another character. They say that he actually committed suicide, which I thought was very hard for me to believe, because when I saw the last series of interviews that Frank Alexander did, he definitely looked scared. You know what I mean? He definitely looked scared, but he didn't look like he was ready to take his own life. He had barricaded himself out in the Inland Empire, had dogs, you know what I'm saying? He on a ranch type shit. So you could tell that he was afraid. Y'all could probably go pull some of them interviews up of Big Frank, like his last couple of interviews. You could tell, I think he even said it, he was kind of afraid for his life at that point, because he had been receiving threats and things like that. And that's why I don't think Frank killed himself. They say that, and here's you know, it's a lot of, that's probably why I'm very much paid attention and kept my ear to this as long as I have, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of strange, you know, passing aways, I guess I'll call it, within this whole story, right? You know, you got, I mean, everything that's connected to Puffy, you know what I mean? From all the people that passed away that's close to him, to, you know, pretty much all the Death Row passings, you know what I mean? Like it's a crazy shit, man. It's some crazy shit, but it's definitely, you know, one of those stories, man. This is like a legendary time in hip hop culture. You know what I mean? So I always like to revisit it, man, and just get the flowers where they do, because again, a lot of these cats ain't even here no more. You know what I'm saying? To relive these stories and tell these stories, man. So, you know, I always like to just try to revisit them every once in a while, man. This shit keep me connected to who I am and how I grew up in this motherfucker. You feel me? Get the likes up, man.
To Mike Tyson's fight at the MGM. And after it was over, they jumped a crib named Orlando Anderson in the hotel lobby. Then just a few hours later, they were driving down the strip when a car pulled up and started letting off shots. Some people think Orlando Anderson wanted to get back at Pac for the beating, but others say Suge knew Pac was trying to leave and had him killed. Losing Pac was a tragedy. And then just a few months later, Biggie was murdered in LA, and the situation got even more complicated. When Pac
got way more complicated. Yeah, hey, listen, Hey, salute to everybody in the building, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, man. I'm on some hip hop controversy shit tonight. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but listen, there are some of this shit has been solved. Little do y'all know, it's not a lot of public knowledge on this shit. It's actually out there. It's just not in video form. It's more in audio form, right? But as far as the Biggie Smalls murder, that shit's pretty much solved. I'll say the Tupac is four people in the car who pulled the trigger. Is one motherfucker that's alive telling that story, Keefy D. You know what I'm saying? So how credible is he? Who knows? But the Biggie Smalls story, from my vantage point, has for the most part been solved. And I think Russell Poole, the very first investigator on that case, was spot on. He had it figured out from the jump. And so, and listen, if I decide to break down, y'all let me know in the comments, man. I can really break that shit down for y'all. It's a series of videos, man, that actually detail it from the FBI investigator that worked on the case and the documentary filmmaker that put it together, man. And so I may end up breaking some of that down tonight, but right now I'm just kind of setting the story up for y'all, reliving a little bit of the history, and for the youngsters out there, they can get a little bit of this real culture in hip hop.
Pac died, Biggie hired a full-time security team because the streets were so hot, but his new bodyguards still couldn't keep him safe in LA. He was in town for the Soul Train Music Awards and decided to stay an extra day for an after party the next night. Big, Diddy, and the rest of Bad Boy Records left the spot at around midnight and got caught up in traffic outside. The whip Diddy was in ran the red light and left Biggie and everyone else behind. And that's when an Impala rolled up and started shooting into Biggie's SUV. In less than a year, the rap game had lost both of its best artists, and that's when the conspiracy theories started getting wild. One of the most popular theories is that Diddy had Tupac murdered so that Bad Boy Records could take over the game. He also...
Right. And that's very much a popular theory. That's one of the theories that Keefy D has also corroborated. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's an open question still at this point. Definitely hard, if not impossible to prove, unless there's some check stubs or receipts or there was some transaction that's trackable. But yeah, that was at that time and still is at this time the running assumption. And I'm gonna give you guys another reason of why I think this, right? And you guys can go listen to this shit yourself. There's a song by Black Rob, I believe. It's called Hustle Gang. Y'all go take a listen to that song and listen to the hook and listen to what Puffy is saying on the hook. You know what I'm saying? To me, and it's right after the shooting of Tupac, I believe, when the song is made, because there's references to Death Row in this track. There's references to West Coast, Eazy-E, but there's also a reference to putting $1 million bag on somebody's head. And now they with the Angels or some shit like that, man. If YouTube wasn't on motherfuckers' asses, I'd actually play that shit right now. But it's called Hustle Gang by Black Rob. Y'all go listen to that. Listen to the hooks on that. Y'all tell me what the fuck y'all think Puff saying in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Allegedly knew that Pac would think Biggie's track Who Shot Ya was aimed at him and would help spark the war. Pac and Biggie's beef definitely helped both sides sell records. And some people think Diddy actually had Big killed because he saw how many Tupac albums sold after he was killed. Biggest piece of evidence that backs the story up is how Diddy ran the red light and left Biggie alone right before he was shot. When everything first went down, most people thought it was just rap beef that got out of control. But then a detective...
And you know what, that running the red light joint, right? I think Gene Deal speaks on that, Uncle G. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that Gene Deal most definitely spoke on. And he was telling the story about how the security guy, I guess the other security guard that was driving, heard the shots and smashed off. He smashed his legs is across the seat because Puff mad at this nigga and put the seat back on him type shit. And so they hear the shots, the guard smashed through the light, and the other car doesn't run the light. And so that's how it got hit up. But yeah, Gene Deal most definitely spoke on that. He has spoken on that in detail. And the story, again, that hasn't changed much. You know, I haven't heard a lot of waver in Gene Deal. Whatever you think of Gene Deal as a person, as a personality, as far as the story that he's told throughout these years, I mean, I haven't found a whole lot of difference in it. You know, I mean, he's gotten older, probably forgot some shit on this show or that show, but it's pretty much overall the same fucking story.
Named Russell Poole started investigating the case and discovered a wild conspiracy involving crooked cops. Poole accused a cop named David Mack.
Yeah, so that's Russell. That's Russell Poole right there. This is Russell Poole, who was the first investigator on the case. That's Russell Poole right there. He initially, if you go watch what is the name of that? City of Lies, right? City of Lies is a movie that kind of depicts when Russell Poole ends up taking the case, right? It starts, I believe, with Gaines shooting Frank Liga and their incident on the road that actually sparked the whole investigation into death row at that time. And so City of Lies, man, y'all go check that out. It's a good movie, man.
Named Russell Poole started investigating the case and discovered a wild conspiracy involving crooked cops. Poole accused a cop named David Mack and his homie Amir Muhammad of killing Biggie. Mack is from the same part of Compton as Suge, and an informant named Psycho Mike told Poole about Mack's friend Amir. It seemed like Poole.
Right. So y'all keep these characters in mind, man. Keep these characters in mind, because I think I am gonna break that video down to Who Killed Biggie Smalls, man. You know what I'm saying? This is content. Fuck it. Ain't nobody else doing it. I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But so that's Russ Poole. You know what I mean? He actually began to crack the case, right? So he said David Mack and this guy right here, Amir Muhammad, who, if you know anything about the history of this saga and this story, Amir Muhammad was initially the one that Gene Deal said approached him in the garage area the night of the Vibe party here in LA at the Peterson. And Gene Deal claims that he flashed both of his weapons, and Amir Muhammad walked the other way. Peanut head, bow tie. You know what I'm saying? He's given that same, story, that same narrative for years. And so Russ Poole was the initial police officer that started to put these pieces together. Russ Poole was a hell of a cop, man, a hell of an investigative cop. And he was railroaded by the LAPD, most definitely. And there's a lot of reasons why. And again, if I decide to break down that, Who Killed Biggie Smalls documentary, it's audio. That's the only reason I'm hesitant about it, because it's only audio, right? But it's from the FBI investigator that worked the case. And he also worked the Rampart case. And he also worked another case that was connected to those cases. So he had full visibility into the entire scene that was going on at that time. From the Rampart, if you guys know how that's connected to this, to the Biggie Small shooting, to, I believe it was another guy by the name of Arredondo, who was a crooked cop, who was also, I believe, a part of the Rampart or something like that. But they're all connected, basically. And so there's a video, actually, now that I got this Amir Muhammad up, you know what? There's a video that I want to show y'all. We're gonna come back to this, man. We're gonna come back to this because I want to show y'all a video. I just thought about this shit. And I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm gonna let y'all see what's out there about Amir Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Because I found this very, very interesting. I hope I can still find the video, man. Is this it? I think this is it right here. Get the likes up, man. This is the remix with Cali Dre. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Check this out. Check this out. Subscribe to the channels too, man. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I'm everywhere. You know what I mean? Y'all want me to be. If I ain't over there, shit, I get over there. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. You know what I mean? OnlyFans, Patreon, shit. Pornhub, nigga, shit. I hop on the hub if y'all need me to. I gotta get on the motherfucking hub and do this shit. Butt naked. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get these views up. How these motherfucking views? I'm up on my blogger shit now. How these motherfucking views up, man? You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. Let me pull this up for y'all real quick. So this is about Amir Muhammad, man. And I think this is some little known information that I found just digging into this shit. I'm telling you, I'm deep into this shit, y'all. I've been looking into this shit pretty much since it all happened. You know what I'm saying? Since it all took place, because I'm gonna tell y'all, the day that Pac died, man. The day that Pac died, I remember I was going to school, and I fucking all the girls was crying and shit. You know what I mean? And it was like, damn, what the fuck wrong with y'all? I hopped on the bus, all the girls was crying and shit. I'm like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? And they was like, oh, Tupac got shot. You know what I mean? Type shit. And so that day, you know, whole school fucked up. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Russ Poole actually was on point, 100%, in my opinion, in my analysis of this whole shit. And that's why he was railroaded in a lot of different ways and a lot of different plays, man. And so one of the things that Russ Poole discovered was this guy Amir Muhammad and his involvement in this whole thing. And so Amir Muhammad and David Mack was an LAPD officer at the time, had relationships with Death Row. David Mack and Amir Muhammad were very, very close friends. I think Amir Muhammad was David Mack's son's godparent. You know what I mean? They actually went to University of Oregon together, ran track together in the 80s, early 80s, mid 80s type shit. And I think David Mack ended up joining the police force after that, but they still remain close. And I believe in the records, in the documentary that I'm going to show you guys, Amir Muhammad was like one of the only people to visit David Mack when he was incarcerated after the bank robbery, right? So David Mack is involved in a very well-known bank robbery for, I want to say, about 700 grand, right? And so there's a huge significance to that, because there's a story that goes along with that the FBI investigator corroborates. And so yeah, I might get into all of that shit, man. But let's break this Amir Muhammad down real quick, man. Let me let y'all check out who Amir Muhammad is. So this is Perry Sanders on the left. It's Robert Frank on the right, the lead attorneys for Miss Wallace, and the other heirs are Christopher Wallace in the wrongful death lawsuit filed against the city of Los Angeles.
Amir Muhammad, who was deposed at his attorney's office in Orange County under what was still his legal name, Harry Billups, had split the difference on the question of how close he was to Mac. They were pretty good friends, Muhammad said. Not best friends, but good friends. He always had been and still was closer to Mac's wife Carla than he was to David, Muhammad added. He contradicted his friend on whose idea it had been for him to become godfather to the Mac children. He asked me to be godfather. You didn't ask him, he asked you, Frank pressed. Yes, Muhammad answered. Beyond this, however, the man denied everything and gave up nothing. There was a jarring contrast, Frank recalled, between Muhammad's appearance and the way he tried to present himself. From the moment he walked into the room, I was afraid of him, Frank said. Muscled up, with a shaved head and a flat expression, Muhammad exuded menace.
Okay, so he said shaved head, right? And if you think about what Gene Deal said when Amir Muhammad walked up on him, he had a peanut head, he had a bow tie. But when you see Amir Muhammad in that picture, he had like a little flat cut, you know what I mean? So most definitely the peanut head. Again, this lends more credibility. Bald head, you know what I mean? Intimidating figure. lend some credibility to what Gene Deal was talking about.
Frank remembered him. You felt this was someone capable of serious violence every time you looked him in the eye. Muhammad, though, was consistent throughout the deposition in portraying himself as an innocent bystander who was stunned and confused by how he had been drawn into this whole sordid mess. "I'm a mortgage broker," he said several times in answer to Frank's questions, as if that alone were proof that he could not possibly have been involved in murder. Sergio Robledo, though, was already poking holes in Muhammad's image. The man's criminal history...
So let's go back to that. Sergio Robledo, man, because he's a key figure that's going to come up a lot. Sergio Robledo was the former head of the LAPD, South Bureau Homicide, who became the lead investigator for the Biggie Smalls, the Biggie family in the Miss Wallace versus LA lawsuit.
The man's criminal history, Robledo had learned, went back at least to his days as an athlete at the University of Oregon. In 1980, as Harry Billups, Muhammad had been arrested in 3 different Oregon cities for theft of services, skipping out on restaurant or bar bills. More serious was the record Muhammad had accumulated in California during the 1990s. State records showed a man almost constantly on the move, with addresses in an assortment of Southern California cities under at least 4 different names, regularly using driver's licenses and other identification that had been falsely obtained. Most troubling were the incidents stemming from Muhammad's relationship with a woman named Angelique Mitchell. He had been arrested in Anaheim in 1993 for infliction of corporal injury on a spouse, cohabitant, after an altercation with Mitchell. That charge was ultimately dismissed by the Orange County District Attorney's Office.
Okay, so pay attention to kind of the criminal, endeavors of Mr. Amir Muhammad, right? Check this out.
Arrested in 3 different Oregon cities for theft of services, skipping out on restaurant or bar bills. More serious was the record Muhammad had accumulated in California during the 1990s. State records showed a man almost constantly on the move, with addresses in an assortment of Southern California cities under at least 4 different names, regularly using driver's licenses and other identification that had been falsely obtained. Most troubling were the incidents stemming from Muhammad's relationship with a woman named Angelique Mitchell. He had been arrested in Anaheim in 1993 for infliction of corporal injury on a spouse, cohabitant, after an altercation with Mitchell.
So Angelique Mitchell was the girlfriend of Amir Muhammad, right? And so that's going to play a little bit of an important role in later on in this stretch of video. Get the likes up. This is the remix of Cali Dre, man. We vibing out. We on some hip hop controversy and conversation tonight, man. The Tupac and Biggie situation. You know what I'm saying? Just giving flowers to the legends, man. Digging deeper into their story tonight.
That charge was ultimately dismissed by the Orange County District Attorney's Office on the grounds of furtherance of justice. But Muhammad had been arrested again in 1994, this time in Fullerton, after Mitchell accused him of beating her in front of her children. The charges of assault, battery, infliction of corporal injury on a spouse, cohabitant, and willful cruelty to a child were again dismissed, and again as furtherance of justice. But
right, so Amir Muhammad keeps getting into domestic situations with his girlfriend. He got a bunch of fake passports and fake IDs. He getting caught up on that, skipping out on meals and all kind of goofy ass shit. But he keeps skating. He keep getting off. You gotta ask yourself how. You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy? What the fuck is he getting away with all this shit in the furtherance of justice?
Only after Muhammad had pleaded guilty to trespass with refusal to leave a property and received a sentence of 60 days in jail, along with 24 months of probation. The most significant incident involving Mitchell, though, had taken place on October 21st, 1998, 17 months after the Notorious B.I.G. murder, when Muhammad had been arrested in the city of Chino for brandishing a firearm.
Okay, so this is 17 months after Big gets killed at the Peterson. Amir Muhammad is arrested in Pomona. Or it was that Chino, Pomona out there in the IE. And y'all not gonna believe this shit.
Mitchell had called the Chino police to say that Muhammad showed up without warning at her workplace, a Department of Motor Vehicles office in Pomona. After he saw her climb into a Blazer SUV with her new boyfriend, Mitchell said, Muhammad followed the couple onto the freeway in his black BMW, a vehicle that was the basis of the lease fraud charges that had recently been filed against him in Los Angeles. After tailing them for some distance, the BMW sped up alongside the Blazer, and Muhammad pointed a pistol at them through his open window, Mitchell said.
Get the lights up.
When the Chino police pulled Muhammad over, they found a semi-automatic Beretta loaded with an 8-round clip in his vehicle. Muhammad.
Okay, so now we have another escalation of a crime. Hanging the blick out the window on the freeway at his ex-girl, Angelique Mitchell. So let's see how this is resolved.
After tailing them for some distance, the BMW sped up alongside the Blazer, and Muhammad pointed a pistol at them through his open window, Mitchell said. When the Chino police pulled Muhammad over, they found a semi-automatic Beretta loaded with an 8-round clip in his vehicle. Muhammad denied pointing the pistol at the couple, then explained that he was in the process of moving and had forgotten the Beretta was in his car.
Okay, so Amir Muhammad gets his car searched after the alleged complaint of Angelique Mitchell that he pointed the weapon at her. They find the weapon, it's a Beretta, and it's loaded. But he denied pointing the pistol at the couple. And he gave the officer, I guess, some excuse about he was moving. And so he forgot the weapon was in the car. So let's figure out how this all gets resolved.
After providing the police with a falsely obtained California driver's license in the name of Harry Muhammad that bore an address in Fontana, California, he was cited for carrying a concealed weapon and released. 6 days later, Mitchell and her boyfriend were dead from gunshot wounds to the head.
Okay. Yeah, let's spin back on that. This is the remix with Kelly Dre, man. We on this hip hop controversy and conversation tonight. Tupac and Biggie Smalls, and we're breaking down Amir Muhammad right now and who he really is, according to Angelique Mitchell and a bunch of complaints.
After providing the police with a falsely obtained California driver's license in the name of Harry Muhammad that bore an address in Fontana, California, he was cited for carrying a concealed weapon and released. 6 days later, Mitchell and her boyfriend were dead from gunshot wounds to the head.
6 days later. 6 days later, Angelique Mitchell and her boyfriend shot dead in the head after she alleged that Amir Muhammad pointed a pistol at her on the freeway. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man.
The San Bernardino County Coroner's Office ruled the deaths a murder-suicide. The coroner's verdict was based on one eyewitness, a cop who told this crazy story about how the couple jumped out onto the front porch of this house and the murder-suicide happened right in front of him.
Okay, so let's break that down just a little bit, right? Murder-suicide is what was determined. And that was all based on a cop giving what this blogger is saying as a wild story. So if you think about what we heard earlier in the video, all of the incidences that Amir Muhammad got into that were verifiable, he was able to get out of without any jail time. 6 days later, Angelique Mitchell and her boyfriend ended up dead from gunshot wounds to the head. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. It's the remix with Cali Dre.
The coroner's office ruled the deaths a murder-suicide. The coroner's verdict was based on one eyewitness, a cop who told this crazy story about how the couple jumped out onto the front porch of this house and the murder-suicide happened right in front of him, Sanders recalled. It just didn't sound right. Robledo, though, had not been able to find anything that tied Muhammad to the killings, other than their proximity in time to the firearm brandishing incident. The crime wasn't well investigated, but there was nothing you could really point to, he explained. It was...
Okay, so the crime wasn't well investigated. You have an officer giving a wild story on behalf of Amir Muhammad, I would say. I mean, a murder-suicide is how it was explained. But this happened 6 days after Angelique Mitchell alleged that Amir Muhammad pointed a pistol at her and her boyfriend on the freeway. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to let y'all know how I think about this Pac and Big shit and what really happened and what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, these was two of my favorite artists, definitely shaped how, you know, Pac shaped a lot of how, you know, I view the world in a lot of ways, man. To be honest with you, man, I was deeply ingrained in hip hop as most of us was growing up. And, you know, as influences were, you know, Tupac was about as solid as they come, man. And as far as speaking up for the people, as far as politics, and Biggie was just a dope rapper who, you know, got caught up in a lot of this. I think, I'm not 100% sure that Big had anything to do with, you know, Pac's second shooting or even this first one. You know what I mean? I like, you know, if you kind of read the accounts and you watch the accounts of what's going on, Lil C's hanging out the window when he seen Pac down the street. You know what I'm saying? Screaming at him, telling him that you know, we up here, come fuck with us type shit. So, you know, I don't, if it's some big thing going on and Lil C's in the studio with Big, why the hell he hanging out the window telling Pac, we upstairs? And another important point in that incident that actually gets overlooked, right, is Biggie Smalls actually, so Pac had a gun on him. He had one or two bangers on him. He didn't get to pull it out. Or he pulled one out and you know, I think he ended up, you know, clipping himself one time, but that's how the story goes. But Big actually went back. They hid the gun in a piano in the studio they was in, or Lil Shine studio, one of the top, I think it was Lil Shine studio. They hid the gun in there. Big actually went back through the police melee outside, got the banger, walked it out, handed it off to one of Pac homies. You know what I'm saying? And that's verified. So I don't think Big had anything to do with the first shooting, really. And I don't think he really had anything to do with the second one, man. You know what I mean? I think there's another account as far as where Pac got that information from, and it's kind of cloudy. You know what I mean? It's you know, people was in his ear, and you know, Big was most definitely hanging out with, I think, the dudes that had something to do with it, type shit. You know what I mean? I think Haitian Jack, or it wasn't Jack, it was the other guy name. Henchman, Jimmy Henchman, you know what I mean? And so I think, you know, like I said, all them crews intertwined. It's New York. I don't know how New York moved, but from everything that I hear about what was going on at that time between all these cruises, they all had exposure to each other. You know what I mean? A lot of exposure to each other. And so, you know, I think in combination of that and Pac, you know, seeing different things he wasn't liking from Big's camp, you know, I think he ran with that shit.
One guy's word, and there was nothing solid to challenge it with. Still, Sanders said, Sergio had found enough for us to know that we could put Muhammad on the stand and let the jury get a real good look at what a bad guy he was. I was especially looking forward to asking him why he needed all those phony driver's licenses.
Yeah, just your average, ordinary mortgage broker, right? So that's how Amir Muhammad is portrayed. You know what I mean? That's how, that's how he beat the investigation. I suppose that they portrayed him as that. But as you can see from that bit of reporting right there, it was a lot more to Amir Muhammad. And it also comes out in the documentary that I'm thinking about showing, you know what I mean? But get the lights up, man. This the remix with Kelly Drake, man. We on this hip hop controversy conversation tonight, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy too. You feel me?
Mac is from the same part of Compton as Shook, and an informant named Psycho Mike told Pool about Mac's friend Amir. It seemed like Pool was close to solving Big's death, but then some info came out that put major holes in the story. It turns out that Psycho Mike earned that name for a reason, and when his police testimony leaked, everyone realized he couldn't be trusted. During the interview,
so Psycho Mike actually, so there's a lot of controversy about Psycho Mike, right? Psycho Mike is actually, this is a very key figure in the entire Biggie Smalls case, right? Key figure, because he actually put the name to the situation, right? If you guys remember, there was testimony or some kind of deposition or something like that Psycho Mike does, and he says the name is Ahmed or Amir or something like that, right? And so he wasn't 100% on the name, but that's where the name Amir came from, was Psycho Mike. Because Psycho Mike, this guy right here, believe it or not, connected. You know what I'm saying? Black Gorilla family connected. You feel me? Him and his brother. And so Psycho Mike was also crazy as fuck, and he didn't trust the police. But I think he built a relationship with one of the officers, and you know how that shit go. But Psycho Mike definitely is a very, very key figure in this shit, and the media will play his involvement, and people will play his involvement. But if you really look at how this shit played out, how the investigation, the findings. Remember, none of us at this time knew any of this shit. You see what I'm saying? I remember stumbling around like my favorite rappers got shot. What the fuck is going on? Like, who the fuck did this shit? You know what I'm saying? And that was my quest to find this shit. I really have been on a personal mission to figure out what the fuck going on. Why my nigga Pac in the ground? Why my nigga Big in the ground? Because it shouldn't have went down like that, man. And so, I've always just kept my ear to this story, you know what I'm saying, and try to decipher the real shit from the bullshit, you know what I mean? And in that journey, I've uncovered some real shit, some real shit.
it seemed like Pool was close to solving Big's death, but then some info came out that put major holes in the story. It turns out that Psycho Mike earned that name for a reason, and when his police testimony leaked, everyone realized he couldn't be trusted. During the interview, he told Poole that the shooter used a machine gun and ran off into a limo, which wasn't even close to how it actually went down. Plus, he never actually named Amir Muhammad, but Poole still ran with the idea that he was involved with the hit. Amir Muhammad's name has been cleared from the case.
Right. So that's not true. That bit of information is not true, because he most definitely gave the name Amir. I don't know. He didn't give the full name Amir Muhammad but he remembered the name Amir. And that's kind of where Russ Poole, being the investigator that he was, took that name and started putting the puzzle pieces together. And what he uncovered got his whole fucking career fucked up and his life blown up. And that's how explosive this shit is. And that's why I think I'm showing this to y'all. And that's why I think I've been tapped into this, because the shit I've uncovered, man, this may be the biggest cover-up in the history of this fucking country. No exaggeration. No exaggeration at all. This shit right here, this whole Tupac and Biggie Smalls saga story involves what's, in my opinion, one of the top 2 or 3 biggest cover-ups in the history of this nation. And I'm gonna try to unfold that and lay that out for y'all the best way I can. You feel me?
But that doesn't mean his friend David Mack didn't have something to do with Biggie's death. He's one of the most famous crooked cops in LA, and a few years before Biggie died, he killed an alleged drug dealer and planted a gun on him. Then, just a few months after Big died, Mack and his girlfriend hatched a plot to rob a bank and steal $700K. His own girl flipped on him though, and Mack went down for 14 years over the case. Just because Mack is a dirty cop doesn't mean he killed Biggie.
Okay, so let's spin that back a little bit. Let's spin that back a little bit, right? Because there goes your 700K. Here goes your 700K right there, right? I think I spoke on that a little earlier. You know what I mean? David Mack, former Los Angeles PD Rampart Division Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums Crash officer. He was a central figure in the Rampart corruption scandal. Mack was arrested November 6, 1997 for the robbery of $722,000 from a South Central branch of Bank of America. And if any of you guys are hip hop connoisseurs like I am, you'll kind of remember this story, right? If you was paying attention to the streets at that time, you'll remember this story. This was a big story. He was sentenced to 14 years and 3 months in federal prison, and Mack never revealed the whereabouts of where the money went. But that's also something that I've discovered, where that money may have potentially and most likely ended up.
And still $700K. His own girl flipped on him though, and Mack went down for 14 years over the case. Just because Mack is a dirty cop doesn't mean he killed Biggie though. And another detective thinks he finally solved the case. We can't say for sure what happened because some of the key people have...
Right. So in my opinion, I'm just giving y'all my opinion right here, right? This guy right here and his role in this whole shit, right? I think he has played a deceptive and very, very conspiratorial role. This is Greg Kading, and he is the guy that got Keefe D to start talking. He and his partner are the ones that approach Keefe D with trying to get information on the Biggie Smalls case, and Keefe D ends up telling them about the Tupac case. And so that part of the story, I believe, is very accurate, but Greg Kading's conclusion in finding that Poochie was the one that killed Biggie Smalls, in my opinion, I think that story is not accurate. Because I think Russ Poole, the initial investigator, had a lot more credibility than this guy right here that's on the screen. And also, I think that Russ Poole didn't have any motives, right? Russ Poole didn't have any, he was approaching this from, an investigative standpoint purely, man, trying to put the pieces together. He stumbled his ass into some shit he knew nothing, into a world he knew nothing about, that he didn't even know existed. You know what I'm saying? And so once Russ Poole started to uncover shit, I think he was on the right track. But this guy that's on the screen, I'm gonna tell you his role, right? His role was to get rid of Miss Wallace's lawsuit for about $400 or $500 million that would have bankrupted the city at that time, city of Los Angeles. And I think his role was also a bit of a, what's the word I want to use? He had his own motives and intentions, man. If you look at him now, anytime that figures like Whack 100 call him, he's on speed dial, right? And this is a former police officer, and his record, if you look at his record, it's not, he's got some a couple of unsavory incidences on his record. I think a judge may have thrown out one of his cases. I think he's been accused of some things, so y'all can go look that up for yourself. But this guy's version of events, to me, not the most accurate in my research, I believe.
Things, he finally solved the case. We can't say for sure what happened because some of the key people have already been murdered. But this is the wild story of how it allegedly went down. According to Detective Greg Kading, Diddy is the one who put out a hit on Pac. Rumors say he tried to take Suge and Pac out at the same time to end the war and take over the entire game. But Suge ended up just getting grazed by a bullet that night and survived. Kading didn't have a lot of evidence to prove that Diddy put the bag on Pac's head, but he might have actually solved Big's murder. We don't know who pulled the trigger on Pac, but whoever it was dealt a major blow to the West Coast, and there was one dude in the game who was never going to let it go, Suge Knight. Pac was the face of death row when he died. Dre and Snoop helped make it successful, but Pac and his image was the new wave for the label. And according to Kading, Suge started planning his revenge as soon as Pac died. We know Suge wasn't actually there when Biggie got killed because he was already in jail. But Kading says he used his girlfriend to put the green light on Biggie. 12 years after it went down, Kading interviewed her.
Okay, so I've always wondered who was the girlfriend, right? So I think this is her. So this is the girlfriend. I believe they used the name Teresa Swan as the alias in Murder Rap. This is the girlfriend that I believe Suge had, and they wrote a fake statement to her saying Suge wanted her to testify against Poochie or something like that. Some bullshit story, but it was like dated April 1st, April Fool's Day. And that's how they kind of got over online to these motherfuckers. I'm trying to tell you, Greg Kading, they was on some underhanded shit when they got this information from Keefe D and Teresa Swan. But some of the information panned out, I guess, to be accurate because Keefe D sitting in jail right now. And so, but the conclusion that Kading came out with that Poochie was the shooter and that whole part of it, I believe, I don't believe that was the accurate part of the story. I believe more the Russ Poole angle on that, and as well, and the Russ Poole angle is corroborated by the FBI investigator that took over the case after Greg Kading. And so I may break some of that down too, because I've been wanting to show it to people. It's not audio. I mean, it's not video though. You know what I mean? That's where they fucked that up, because it's an amazing documentary. Really breaks down the Biggie Smalls assassination, I'll call it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. It's just audio. You know what I mean? They didn't put no video to it. Why? I don't know. I actually sent the documentary filmmaker an email and told him, like, bro, put some fucking video to this shit. It'll be gold. This is why the views on it is low. Like, you know what I'm saying? I sent them that. I'm that kind of motherfucker, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to keep my mouth closed. It's that Gemini shit. You know what I'm saying? It's probably why I'm talking to you motherfuckers right now. Get the likes up, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. This is the remix with Cali Dre. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. You know what I mean? TikTok, MAGA Mind Grows. I'll be on y'all motherfucking ass tomorrow, bro. We're going to break some of this politics shit down tomorrow. But tonight, man, I'm just vibing, man. I'm on this hip-hop controversy and conversation about Pac and Big, man. Let's go.
Girlfriend to put the green light on Biggie. 12 years after it went down, Kading interviewed her about it, and she had tears in her eyes because of how afraid she was of Suge. Suge is one of the scariest dudes in the history of the rap game. He didn't know how to make deals without using violence, and even his own employees were terrified of him. Right now, he's locked up for killing his own homie in 2015. Plus, there are rumors he's been involved in all kinds of murder and assault cases. According to Kading,
Suge Knight, another very complicated figure. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna spend too much time on Suge because, you know what I'm saying, y'all know how Hollywood T get. Yeah, I mean, salute to Hollywood T. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna talk too much about Suge. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, y'all know who this is. You know what I mean? Y'all know who this is. You know what I'm saying? And what he did. You know, and listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Suge get a lot of bad rap and bad flag, man, but I've heard as well on the streets of California out here that Suge has done a lot of good stuff too, man. You know, busting moms to go see kids that's locked up, having all kind of like you know what I'm saying, events for the kids and shit, holiday events, toy giveaways, all that shit. Suge was about all that kind of shit too, man. So I think it's always important, man, when if you're gonna tell, you know, the worst parts of a motherfucker, you also gotta highlight where a motherfucker, you know, did the right shit in life, man. Because, you know, I'm about giving a complete narrative, man. I think it's that Gemini shit. I see both sides, you know what I'm saying, the yin and the yang, you know what I mean? And I can understand. I may not agree, you know what I mean? I may not partake, but I understand how motherfuckers, you know, can do certain shit in life. And so Suge is just a motherfucker that, you know, at that time, like I explained earlier in the video, in my opinion, it wasn't a whole lot of black representation at that time, you know what I mean? And especially in hip hop. If you all remember TLC, they got one of the worst deals that's ever been heard of. Like, you know what I mean? That was worse than a 360. So, you know, motherfuckers was getting hemmed up, jammed up, and, you know, Suge came in as a force, you know, he started as a force to try to right that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now how it all ended up, you know what I mean? You know, that's how it all ended up. But I think, you know, initially I think he was, you know, trying to fight for more black representation in the game and more black advancement in the game, you know what I mean? So I definitely give him his props for that.
Violence, and even his own employees were terrified of him. Right now, he's locked up for killing his own homie in 2015. Plus, there are rumors he's been involved in all kinds of murder and assault cases. According to Kading, Suge's girlfriend acted like she was a legal assistant so their jail meetings couldn't be recorded. Suge made her contact a Mob Power affiliate named Poochie, and he's the one who allegedly rolled up on Biggie and killed him. It seemed like the case.
Right. So that's the Greg Kading version of the story, but I'm gonna show y'all something a little else, man. I might dive into that other shit. But yeah, that's kind of that, man. You know what I'm saying? I got like a couple more videos I want to show, but that's kind of the backstory on this shit. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. So far, you feel me? I'm just vibing out on this shit tonight, man. I've been watching some of these videos, and I kind of been wanting to talk about this subject, but you know, you never know, man. But tonight just felt like a good night to do this shit. So that's what we on, man. It's the remix with Kelly Dre, you feel me? I wanted to watch another video. You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's just the one to tap with. Oh, that. Get the likes up in the meantime, between time, you feel me? Yeah, so I wanted to tap in with this video a little bit. Because this, I like to hear from motherfuckers in their own words, man. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to hear, you know, why Pac had a real issue with Big. You know what I mean? What was Pac's real issue with Big? You know what I'm saying? In the first place, like why was he pressing him? Why was he pressing him the way he was pressing him? You know what I'm saying? So check this out, man. It's the remix with Kelly Dre, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with you.
If God gives me breath for 20 more years, I see myself changing the world because my thought.
Right.
If God gives me breath for 20 more years, I see myself changing the world because my thought patterns are so opposite of what's the norm. So I would have to change the world, or I have to be changed by the world.
Right, and that's something that from what I come to find out now. You know what I mean? That's something that Pac really believed in his heart. I mean, like that's really something Pac believed in. His cousin actually just dropped a series of interviews that I've been thinking about breaking down as well, where she describes, you know, her early memories of Pac. And that's one of the things he would always say to her, that he was going to be a legend. You know what I mean? Pac really believed he was going to be a legend. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he told her. She was like, you know, that's something he told me he really believed in at the time. You know, they just took it as, you know, this nigga high. You know what I mean? As she said, this nigga blunted. You know what I mean? But he really believed that shit. And I think it's real powerful, some of the things that she had to say as well. We looking like on time. I may get to that. But yeah, let's run a little bit of this, man. I want to run Pac in his own words, man.
Fear got stronger than love, and niggas did things they know they weren't supposed to do. They know in their heart. That's why they in hell now. They can't sleep. That's why they telling all the reporters and all the people, why they doing this? They fucking up hip hop because they in hell. They can't make money. They can't go anywhere. They can't look at themselves because they know the prodigal son has returned. I'm alive. The ghost is walking around. You know what I mean? And I'm alive talking. It was never a beef. It's only a difference in opinion. That's like me being mad at my little brother because he getting cash now. I'm not mad at that. I'm just mad at my little brother when he don't respect me. And when you don't respect me, I'm gonna spank your ass. I don't give a fuck how rich you got on the block. I'm your big brother. I will break your big ass down. Everybody that thinks that I disrespected or I love my East Coast fans.
Yeah, so it was about respect with Pac, I think. You know what I mean? I think from all the accounts, he helped Big get his start, had him on stage. And I think at a certain point, Pac felt like, hey, he wasn't getting the respect, but then Big started copying his style. Bad Boy started copying his style. And I'm gonna tell y'all some real inside spiel on that, right? Hearing from people that was really in the building on that side of the tracks. You know what I'm saying? And top with the decision makers, you know what I'm saying? There was an effort to copy the style of Tupac Shakur. That's been verified to me 100%. You know what I mean? Whether it was from the head of the label or stylistically from, the main artist on the label. But there was most definitely an effort to emulate what Pac was putting out in his style and his I don't want to say a sound because the sounds was kind of different, but Pac thought there was enough similarity for him to go out and do what he did. You feel me?
From there, I'm eating New York pizza. I drive New York Jeeps. Want to hear New York, but I'm saying let's keep it real for a second. If you have the love of music that you are, study. Go back and study. Study why I would be mad. Study why I would be mad when half of New York, half of the major New York rappers, or they managers, or they agents, or they somebody was there when I got shot, and nobody could give me no information. Just study that. That's all I ask. If you're gonna act like you a gangster or a G or the king of New York, I'm gonna expect that. And when you don't come through, then I'm gonna want to crush your empire. And that's what it's time for. Why is it suddenly a nigga tripping when I do it? Why everybody else can have a war, have beef within the music, talk about differences, and it's okay, it's music, it's hip hop, it's groundbreaking. When I do it, it's war. These niggas are still fucking talking. You niggas still breathing? Fucking roaches. Alright, it's the brave all day.
Yeah, this music shit. Hold on. I don't even want to play this music. Hold on. You skip past that a little bit. So, as y'all can hear, man, Pac most definitely was standing on the fact that he didn't like these dudes, man. For whatever reason that it was. And it seemed like it was a lot of fucking reasons, man. Pac really wasn't feeling them dudes. It may have started as, when he got shot and the whole situation surrounding that. But I know for a fact, again, I may play that video as well. Ed Lover came out. Matter of fact, I want to play that video now that I'm thinking about it, man. I'm about giving y'all that real deal. You know what I'm saying? That's the remix with Kelly Dre, man. I'm about giving y'all that real deal. Let me see if I can find that video, man. Ed Lover was close to these dudes. Yeah, Lover was close to these dudes. Get the lights up. And so he was close to both sides, man. And he gave this account of how he tried to talk to Tupac and let him know that Big wasn't responsible for him getting shot. Let's see if I can find that video. Get the lights up. Okay. Can I find this video? Yeah, I think it's this one right here, man. So I don't get struck for playing this shit. Actually, I ain't monetized anyways. I don't know how that shit works. I ain't monetized. I don't give a fuck. I'm playing it anyway, man. It's the remix of Kelly Dre. We're gonna play this shit because it's out there. I got a problem with it. Fuck 'em. That's where I'm at with it. Get the likes up, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy.
let me ask you: do you think, knowing both Big and Pac, would they have been friends if both of them lived?
Absolutely.
You got no doubt about that.
No doubt about it. There was a love there, man. It was the other elements that got into it that kept them apart. There was a love, man. There was a love there. They shared a bond. They were friends, like, before the crap. They were friends, like, and I think from Pac's perspective, that's why he was so hurt behind it, because they were friends. And I think there's a piece of him that felt like, well, if you didn't have anything to do with it, you knew it was going to happen. Why you ain't tell me? And from Big's perspective was like, doggy, I didn't know it was going to happen. I was in the complete dark because I'm in another studio doing my thing. Doesn't mean I have anything to do with what you're doing. You didn't come to the studio to see me. You came to the studio to do a song with Little Sean, and Jimmy was supposed to pay you.
That's a fact. So about that part, right? So I read a book, man. It was like a Tupac detailing what happened. I believe it was kind of in his own words type shit. But it's a scene that I never forget about this part, right? Because it says something like Pac all that day, I guess, had been talking to Jimmy Henchman or talking to somebody about getting paid, getting his money. And he said he wasn't coming to the studio unless he got his money. So all day, bro was telling him he ain't had his money, but he wanted to come to the studio. And so I guess finally he ends up saying he had his money, and that's why Pac ended up going to Quiet Studio that day to go do the track with Lil Sean. Or maybe it was going, you know what I mean? They worked something out, but I just always found that very, very interesting that they was trying all day basically to get Pac to the studio, and he finally ended up telling bro he had his money. He came, and then he got ambushed. You know what I'm saying?
And Jimmy and Jack were friends. That's what happened to you. They ain't had nothing to do with it. I didn't know. I did not know. And then it just, after it happened and after Pac went in, everything just got so blown out of proportion. And then,
so he said Jimmy and Jack were friends. So that's Jimmy Henchman and Haitian Jack, which is true. I think Henchman, you know what I mean? I think Jack, looked up to Henchman. And so, but if y'all remember, Jimmy Henchman, Haitian Jack was, from what I understand, allegedly was around Pac when the girl claimed that Pac raped her, right? And from what I understand about that story, the girl, I believe, that whole play was a Jack play. You know what I'm saying? And if you listen to the Machiavelli album and listen to the shit Pac saying in that album, right? And he's talking about, we caught the same charge, but now I think you got another attorney or some shit. And he's breaking that whole shit down in Machiavelli. I believe it's in Against All Odds. You know what I'm saying? Go listen to Against All Odds. 21 Gun Salute. Blessed Fatigues, black jeans and boots disappeared in the crowd. All you seen was truth. That joint. You know what I'm saying? He break that whole shit down. And so I always keep that in mind when people always talk about the Tupac, great the young lady. And I the reason why I never thought it was accurate, because you know what I mean? I just the Tupac's cousin tells a story about how a young lady came over with Pac's relative and ended up trying to flirt with Pac. And Pac kind of pulled her to the back, told her some shit. And actually I'll play it, but that's one reason why I don't, if y'all know that story, that's one reason why I don't believe that. But then the other reason is that I know for a fact that Haitian Jack, I always get them two mixed up. Haitian Jack, that was his whole play that night. You know what I mean? I think he brought the girl, his people was with the girl. Pac leaves, I think his people was with the girl, and that whole shit happens. And so that's why Pac is like, why am I being charged for being at concert with some motherfuckers? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Where them motherfuckers at? Why they in it? You know what I mean? So that's what that whole shit was about in front of the studio. He like, oh, y'all in my place of business. Y'all know where to find me. I'm at my place of business. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of significance and shit. Pac be saying shit, but he don't be saying it. But if you listen to his music, you really break it down. You do a little research on this shit, and you kind of find out what's going on. But that's kind of what I'm showing y'all, trying to show y'all tonight, man. It's a lot of connections and links. This trying to tell y'all this whole shit may be the biggest cover up in the history of this nation, man. The entirety of the story. You know what I mean? Because it's way bigger than y'all even know. Uncle G said, "What do you think about Reggie Wright?" You know what, Uncle G, man? Hey, listen, Reggie Wright. My opinion is going back and forth on Reggie Wright, right? Like, you know, he's definitely an informant, motherfucker type shit. You know what I mean? Definitely, you know, was caught, you know, as a crooked cop. But I also watched the interview the other day, and I may break that down where Big Neckbone being interviewed by Reggie, and Big Neckbone, you know what I'm saying? He was there. He was in the trenches with Buntry and with Suge, and you know what I mean? And he still, you know, looked like he got some level of respect for Reggie Wright. So, you know, I'm outside of the tent. I'm just breaking the shit down. I grew up, you know, I was in high school when all this shit was going on. You feel me? But, you know, my opinion on Reg is that I don't 100% trust everything Reg is talking about. Reg will give you information that he wants you to know. Like, he's not going to really give you, you know what I mean, everything. I feel like Gene Deal, he going to give you every nook and cranny of the bullshit, all that. Like, you know what I mean? He's not holding nothing back, I don't feel like. Reggie Wright, I feel like, you know, is still playing that game at a certain level. And you know what I mean? And so, but I was on a panel, man. Reggie Wright had a panel one night. I think it was the night that Phil Carson is the FBI agent that did the documentary. Phil Carson and Don Sikorsky. Don Sikorsky is the documentary filmmaker. And so Phil Carson and Don Sikorsky go on Reggie Wright platform one night, and they taking questions and shit. And so I you know, I have my ass on there. I'm asking questions, doing my shit. And Reggie Wright ended up kicking me out one night because I asked him about what Phil Carson said and about Phil Carson them basically placing, you know, his role in what Phil Carson is saying. And Phil Carson is basically saying that Reg, you know, played a, you know, he had some significant roles in not only the, you know, Pac shit, but the big shit and also you know, and some other shit. And so but I asked Reg about Phil Carson, and he kicked me off his shit. So that's you know, that's what I think about Reggie Wright, man. Angie Martinez interview will never came out. Yeah. I don't remember seeing the Angie Martinez interview, man. Let's see. Let's get back to this. The remix with Kelly Drake, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy.
And you know, Pac's in jail, and then he's with Suge, and we know what Suge and Puff already had the beef, but behind Suge's man getting killed. And then it's now okay. Now it's not Biggie and Pac anymore. It's Bad Boy and Death Row. And once that happened, there was no coming to the table. But I think now you look back at it all these years later, them two grown-ass men, hell yeah, they'd have been friends again. As soon as Pac walked away from Death Row and he was on his way out, they would have been friends again.
Yo, Ed, it's been...
Listen, Ed Lover just dropped the gem right there. He said Pac was on his way out. As soon as he left Death Row, and he was on his way out. You know what I mean? And again, there's a lot of questions as to was Pac happy? Was he gonna stay with Death Row? Was he gonna leave Death Row? And you know, there's a lot of people going a lot of different ways with that. But I'll tell you 3 people that I know that have said Pac was for sure out of there and he had problems with Death Row. I believe it was Nate Dogg. Y'all can go look Nate Dogg, what he said about Pac. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, shit, it's the remix with Kelly Drake. Y'all ain't even gotta look that shit up. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck we here to do. You know what I mean? On some real shit. Get the likes up, man. You know what I mean? I'm breaking down this hip hop controversy, man, trying to get to the bottom of this Pac and Big shit. You know what I mean? We doing a little bit of chopping it up. But yeah, man, this shit is deep, bro. This is one of the biggest cover-ups in the history of this whole shit, man. I'm trying to tell you. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, man. I'm being very much real because there's a lot of entities involved in this shit, right? There's the streets, but then there's also the police. There's also the district attorney's office. There's also the motherfucking newspaper of the city. You know what I'm saying? They're all involved in this shit, right? And later on, to an extent, the FBI and how their lack of pursuit of what really was going on in this case as well was a part of the it's an outside part of the cover, in my opinion. And so there's been attempts to cover this whole shit up, but there's been one FBI agent who worked all the cases, who put the pieces together, and who actually gave out the information. And according, him and Russ Poole, their version of this align very much so. The Greg Kading version is outside of that, but the Russ Poole version and the Phil Carson version align. And Phil Carson basically took what Russ Poole did, took the torch from that and expanded on it, and actually got closer to uncovering what really went on. And so let me see if I can find that Nate Dogg. Get the likes up, man. This is the remix with Cali Dre. You know what I mean? Yeah, Nate Dogg was one person that actually spoke on it. Actually, nah, that ain't it. Yeah, Nate Dogg, that's it. Let me see. Let me see if this is it. Pull this up real quick. Get the likes up, man. Get the subscribes up. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. You know what I mean? We're just breaking shit down, vibing tonight.
Who's famous with applying the old mafia tactics. And you instill fear in everybody by, and one person, or excuse my language, but I mean, so we in there in the room, and a guy just walks in. He wants to, he has no idea we're in the middle of a meeting.
Oh, no, this ain't that story. Okay. This is another story. Nate Dogg talk about what was going on at Death Row and how ratchet and vicious shit was at Death Row. But yeah, man, I'm just vibing out right now. Listen, I might I'm gonna test this shit. I'm gonna try to play this audio, man, and see if this shit what it look like, man. Because it's a lot of this shit that I'm talking about that I know comes from this documentary. And I'm sitting there beating around the bush with this shit. I'm like, fuck it, man. I might as well just start breaking some of this shit down little by little, man. So I may actually get into doing that tonight, man. It's the remix with Kelly Dre, man. Get the likes up, man. Yeah, we just vibing out tonight. I'm on this hip hop controversy, Tupac and Biggie Smalls, man, giving the legends their flowers, you know what I'm saying, and trying to figure out, get us a little closer to the truth about what's going on in their situations. You know what I'm saying? About their old situation, because they both resting in peace at this point, as everybody know. You know what I'm saying? But I like tapping in with this shit, from time to time, man, and just figuring out, what the people were saying, man. It's another interview that I thought was pretty interesting. Yeah, let's talk about this, because people always say like, what was Pac playing? What was he trying to do? You know what I mean? Another Pac cousin did an interview. A couple of years ago, Uncle G. Yeah, his female cousin, she did an interview. I like to get people that's on the scene and that was there, right? That's why I paid attention to Big Neckbone interview. He got a couple things to say. I might run, and then his cousin, I forget her name, but she was actually, she grew up with him. She traveled to Vegas with him, when he was shot. So she had a few things to say that I thought was very, very interesting. And she actually cleared up a few things when I watched it. But yeah, I might jump into that, man. But let me see. What is this? Yeah, so people always try to ask, like, oh, what was Pac on? What you think he would have did? What was his plans? You know what I'm saying? So I found this video today. I thought it was pretty interesting, man. So it looks like Tupac ended up having a conversation with Monster Cody. And Monster Cody, if y'all know, was a famous A-Tray gangster out here in California. And he basically, I think he wrote a book. He ended up getting I think, matter of fact, the book that he wrote, from what I hear and what I understand, 9 Trey gang and the Blood gang in New York, I think some of their founders end up reading that Monster Cody book and ended up formulating their shit out there in New York. So Monster Cody was a very influential figure, you know, in his own right, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying, from you know all the research that you do on him. But Tupac and Monster Cody ended up having a conversation, and I thought this was pretty interesting, man, because I had never seen this, never heard about it. So I want to dive into a little bit of this, man, and y'all tell me what y'all think about it, man. It's the remix with Cali Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, tapping in with a little bit of this hip hop history, man. The golden era, the golden age of this shit. You know what I mean? Get the likes up, get the subscribes up. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, man. We're gonna tap in with this. Tupac had a conversation with Monster Cody, man, and I thought this was pretty dope. So I think it answers a lot of questions as where Pac mindset was at this time.
Nico, what's up? You got two player. Hey, I got the message you was trying to send, but you know they had me on that Hannibal Lecter trip.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened because they do that to me too when I was up in there.
Yeah, I heard.
Certain people I couldn't write to, like Matulu, they opened my whole letter to him.
Oh yeah, well you know I would get at Matulu, but I'll go around a long way, right? Through this cat named Robin. Or I get at Watani, I go another way too, right? We start shooting the movie next month, right?
You do?
I'm telling you, man, I want you to play me, man.
I want to play you.
Okay, dig this.
Nobody play you.
Dig this. Check us out. The producer, the director, right, is Antoine Fuqua, a young brother, 28 years old from Baltimore, right? But he's straight up cat like us, right? And he's a good cat. We got hella pull with him, right? We ain't even did casting yet, man. You know?
You got to put me down.
So this is Monster Cody and Tupac Shakur having a conversation. I thought this was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Got to play.
I didn't see your shit. I just seen Juice.
Oh, you
no. Cause I was locked up all them years.
Oh, shit.
I just seen your shit, man.
Word.
Yeah.
I just
wrote the ring. What was that, last night? Yeah.
When I was up in that jailhouse, I wrote one too. I'm supposed to be getting that shit together. What else you doing, man?
Hey, man, you wouldn't believe I got some dope ass lyrics.
What?
I'm serious. I got some shit called Level 5 that's bomb shit.
What?
Straight up. Hey, homie, I'm talking about, hey.
You got to come in the studio then.
I'm telling you, I got some shit.
So when you going to come through?
When can I come through?
Anytime you want. I'm in the studio every day. I'm finishing my album. I'm doing a double album this Christmas called All Eyes on Me.
Hey, man, hey, I'm telling you.
There you go. So look, this is right before All Eyes on Me drop. As you can see, Pac telling Monster Cody, you know what I'm saying, come to the studio whenever. I got this double album about to drop, All Eyes on Me. Hey, listen, legendary album. You know what I'm saying? Get the likes up. It's the remix with Cali Dre, man. Monster Cody and Tupac Shakur having a conversation, October 18, 1985. I thought this was real dope. It gave me a little insight on what Pac mindset was at this time. You know what I'm saying? And what kind of his future plans were.
Song with Dre. I got the song with Roger. I got a song with George Clinton. That shit is fat. Hey, I got Sister Soldier coming. If you come, nigga, we could do the bomb.
I'm telling you. Hey, check this out. I'm telling you, that shit you shot, man, So Many Tears.
Yeah.
I mean, I burst out in tears when I heard that shit.
You like that shit?
Man, you shot that shit. I'm telling you, yesterday I was cleaning up the pad, and I was, me and my wife, right? And I'm cleaning up the pad, and Lord Knows was on, right? And that, the last verse, that shit hit me and froze me, man.
That's the one, man.
Hey, listen, Lord Knows and Shed So Many Tears, two legendary Tupac Shakur albums. I think that was the Me Against the World album. You know what I'm saying? Legendary tracks, man.
Man, hey, homie, I love the shit out of you, man. You shot that shit. I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you.
You my player. I was telling you, it was this letter I was trying to say to you, man. When them dudes put out the pistols to me.
Man, who was that, man?
It was these fools from New York, this gang out there called A-Team. These fools was mad because I told them I wasn't fucking with them no more.
Man, them motherfuckers, I was mad as hell about that shit.
But when they pulled the pistols out, I swear on everything I love, first thing I thought about was reading in your book when you was talking about how you felt when them niggas drew down on you.
Ain't that cold?
Exactly how I felt. The setup, the shit you was talking about.
The shit,
yeah, so as you can see, man, Monster Cody was a very influential author. You know what I mean? Tupac read a lot of books. From what I understand, he used to always try to get the outlaws to read a lot of books. It's one of the things that his cousin actually covered. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? As y'all can see, man, the energy between, you know, two pure, real street, real black men, you know what I'm saying, out here in this world, man, in America, trying to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put plays together, chopping it up about, you know what I mean, their successes and their visions and shit on some grown man level type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I thought this conversation was just real dope, man. I never even knew that these two had an interaction together, but it sounded like they you know what I mean, had some exposure toward each other. The likes of.
Just look up and the nigga be like, boom, right there. Everything was just like that.
When I was reading about the shit that happened to you, I was like, man, this is straight like parallel to me.
It's exactly.
I'm telling you, everybody
bugged me out,
man. I'm telling you, we start shooting in December, man, and no later than January. And our propaganda is doing it, right?
Oh, that's good.
Propaganda's doing it with Polygram. And with the shit is already, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna plug you in, man. I'm telling you, can't nobody do this shit but you. We're gonna have that Shakur thing.
All right, I'm gonna blow it up.
We're gonna have that Shakur thing.
Hey, I represent it for you. I'm telling you. All of New York. I got all those New York dudes who hate the West Coast screaming out your name.
Handling that.
Hey, salute to the homie, man. Little Steve in the building, man. Hey, love the content. 619 in the building. Hey, you already know, man, all day. Hey, Little Steve, you probably remember. You know what I'm saying? We was at the same school around the same time. You know what I'm saying? You remember when that All Eyes on Me dropped? You was a little younger than me. I was in the gym. You know what I mean? I was in the gym. Cranked that shit up. You know what I'm saying? The whole gym went silent as fuck. For like 45 minutes, motherfuckers just looking at each other like, whoa. This is the hardest shit I've ever heard in my life. And even till to the day, man, all that shit still holds up, man. All that death row shit. So a lot of that bad boy shit, it still holds up today, man. A lot of this shit, in my opinion, today is trash, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. But hey, let's get back to this, man. This is the remix with Cali Dre. I'm breaking down this Tupac Monster Cody conversation, October 18, 1995.
I was passing your autobiography to niggas because they didn't understand the West Side.
I'm telling you, hey, I seen you on BET one time. It was you and John Singleton, right?
Yeah.
And you asked John Singleton, you read that book, Do or Die? And he said, have you read Eat to Live? And Watani was there too. Yeah. I've been following you, brother.
Yeah, man. Niggas, John Singleton a coward, though.
Yeah, I also heard what you did to the Hughes brothers.
Yeah.
I read that article, that interview Dream did with you.
Yeah. Hughes brothers cowards, too.
Yeah.
Man, I just been struggling out here looking for you, man. I need some help, man.
I'm telling you, I'm here, brother. Whatever I can do, man. I'm telling you straight up. I want to plug you in.
Got to, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Pocky.
And I want to get this organization started with you. Only we could do it. Let me tell you the idea.
All right.
It's like we start like this.
Okay, so look, this is the part that I thought was real insightful, right? Pac starts to go into, you know what I'm saying, some of the plans and visions that he has for the future. And I thought this was real dope. Get the likes up.
Youth league, right? Like football league, basketball, football, softball, for girls and boys. I'm going to get all the rappers to adopt a team.
Right.
Each rapper have his own team. Coolio have his team, Tretch have his team, I have my team. And we play. And the rappers the ones that put the money up. We get the field, we play. Right. We have, like, the churches come out and sell food.
That's real.
We had the fathers and the uncles and all of the men in the community. They do security.
Right.
Get their respect back for the kids and everything. Then we had the FOI come out. We had the deacons from the church. They do security. And we just play football, baseball. You know, get that community spirit going again.
I'm with it.
Hey, as you can see, Pac said, get the FOI out there. Listen, hey, you remember after that Quad Studio shooting, the FOI boys, they was around Pac like the Secret Service around the president. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't playing no motherfucking games, whooping ass and taking names. You know what I mean?
And on the weekends, we have block parties. All right. And every rapper got to get up. Every rapper, nigga, if you got a record out, you got to get up for us. You got to come do a free show for the hood.
That's real.
And it's like a little tour. We do that. And we get all the communities back together. And I'm talking to Al Sharpton about this, some other motherfuckers with some power. And then when we do that, we register the voters. And if we can register them for Democrats, Republican, or Independent. Yeah. Once we register the voters, we have power. Then we start going up.
Wow, listen to that. I think that's dope. Listen, when I be on these platforms and I be kicking this shit about, you know what I'm saying, your vote matters, your dollar matters, bruh, come on, bruh. The greatest of all time is telling y'all the same shit that I be telling y'all. I'm telling y'all the same shit that he was telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's real shit.
You got to come do a free show for the hood.
That's real.
And it's like a little tour. So we do that. And we get all the communities back together. And I'm talking to Al Sharpton about this, some other motherfuckers with some power. And then when we do that, we register the voters. And if we can register them for Democrats, Republican, or Independent. Yeah. Once we register the voters, we have power. Then we start.
There it is. Pac said it. Pac said it. So when y'all asking like, Why the fuck he created this channel? Why is this motherfucker talking to me on this goddamn screen? Who the fuck is this with this colorful microphone talking this politics shit? This is why I do what I do. You feel what I'm saying? This is why I do what I do. You know what I mean? Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, I'm sharing this podcast. Buku, he's right. Hey, I appreciate it, my nigga. I appreciate it. Hey, Lil Steady, hey, this is one of my day ones right here. You know what I'm saying? This is one of my day ones right here. You know what I mean? One of my day unos. You know what I mean? We done been all over the country together. You know what I mean? Doing our 1-2. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, nothing but love, family. You already know that. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I'm breaking down this Tupac and Monster Cody phone conversation October 18, 1985. Man, I thought this was pretty dope. Gave me a lot of insight on what Pac mindset was, some of his future plans, what he wanted to do. People always ask that question, like, you know what I mean? I even asked that question before I saw this video. I was like, damn, I wonder what will Pac be on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was he trying to put together, you know, besides the music and entertainment part of his life? You know what I mean?
Going up to the mayors of these cities and telling them, look, we got this many voters in this city. We want you to do this. We want a community center. We start hitting up Nike for the free clothes, the computer stores for the free computers for each community center. And if they don't, then shit, that's how many people we have in those cities we can regulate. You know what I mean? If we telling the mayor, nigga, if you don't do this, then we ain't gonna do this. If we telling them we can clean up the streets, I'm gonna have all these tough ass supposed to be gangster rappers. We're gonna all get in the van. We're gonna travel. LA got to be the last place because it's going to be hardest. But we can do New Jersey, all of that. We're going to drive to all these drug areas, right? Yeah. Imagine me, Redman, Fred, Ice Cube, that type of niggas getting out, going up to the whoever's the main drug dealer on that block. Who runs shit? You know, if we get out of a van, be like, what's up, nigga? How y'all doing? What's up? Yo, who the nigga that runs shit? They going to take us to that nigga. We invite those niggas to dinner. Invite them niggas to Sean Perignon, steak and lobster.
This shit got all the Pac that took the show over. Hold on, Pac. Hold on, man. Let me give you your flowers, man. Yes, man. Let me give you your flowers in this motherfucker, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, Pac kicking that real deal, man. You know what I mean? And I think, you know what I'm saying, this interview that he did with Monster Cody, you know what I mean? Another, you know, legendary street figure out here in Los Angeles. Author, wrote some books, you know what I mean, and touched a lot of people. But I thought this conversation was real dope, man. It's you know what I mean? They're not talking that street shit. You know what I mean? These is two of the most street cats. It don't get no more streeter than Tupac Shakur and Monster Cody. You can't get no more street than that. You can't get no more, you know what I'm saying, underground than that. You know what I mean? You can't get no more grassroots than that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just thought this conversation was real dope, man, and real inspiring as far as, you know, the political side of why I created this channel. You know what I'm saying? We talk a lot of politics and shit. You know, tonight we on this hip hop shit, but I think, you know, this hip hop shit at one time was inspired, you know, the politics, and the politics inspired the hip hop. And so in this moment and in this time, I think that's severely lacking, man. I think that's why I'm tapping in with this tonight. You know what I'm saying? To try to get back to that essence of a real political activist leader out here in these streets, man.
You know, independent. Once we register the voters, we have power. Then we start going up to the mayors of these cities and telling them, look, we got this many voters in this city. We want you to do this. We want a community center. We start hitting up Nike for the free clothes, the computer stores for the free computers for each community center. And if they don't, then shit, that's how many people we have in those cities we can regulate. You know what I mean? If we telling the mayor, nigga, if you don't do this, then we ain't going to do this. If we telling them we can clean up the streets, I'm going to have all these tough ass supposed to be gangster rappers. We're going to all get in the van. We're going to travel. LA got to be the last place because it's going to be hardest. But we can do New Jersey, all of that. We're going to drive to all these drug areas, right? Imagine me, Redman, Tretch, Ice Cube.
Yeah, even Pac said LA going to be the hardest, man. And I actually agree with that, man. I think, you know, California politics is you know, motherfuckers is entrenched in their politics out here. Your grandparents, your granddaddy, your uncle, your great cousin, all that shit. Everybody's affiliated in some way, shape, or form to this shit. And so, you know, that's the tough part about, you know, living out here and trying to put a movement together that's purely positive and you know, there to uplift the community, all parts of the community, you know what I'm saying? But I still believe it can be done, man, and that's a part of the reason I created this channel, man. So subscribe to the channel, man. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, all that shit. Share the videos, you know what I mean? Fuck with your boy.
Type of niggas getting out, going up to whoever's the main drug dealer on that block, who runs shit. You know, if we get out of a van, be like, what's up, nigga? How y'all doing? What's up? Yo, who the nigga that runs shit? They gonna take us to that nigga. We invite those niggas to dinner. Invite them niggas to some Sean Perignon, steak and lobster, and be like, look, player, we asking you, not telling you, we asking you as a player to a player, can you please give us a pass to have these streets clean from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Yeah. Let that be for the kids. Let them the niggas be safe during those times. No gunshots, no drug dealers. From 11 p.m. to 6.
That's dope. That's dope. Listen. That's dope. That's real dope. That's some powerful shit right there. Listen to the play and the plan that these two, you know what I'm saying, kings is putting together for the streets and they vision for the community, right? And Tupac get a lot of flack as being wild and crazy and uncontrollable, but the political side of this movement and how he spoke up for women, how he spoke up for kids, how he spoke up for black people was always the thing that you know gravitated me to his music and to what he was pushing into his movement. You know what I'm saying? And Monster Cody, you know, like I said, real gangster. I mean, nothing more need to be said. You feel me?
Ice Cube, them type of niggas getting out, going up to the whoever's the main drug dealer on that block, who runs shit. You know, if we get out of a van, be like, what's up, nigga? How y'all doing? What's up? Yo, who the nigga that runs shit? They gonna take us to that nigga. We invite those niggas to dinner. Invite them niggas to some Sean Perignon, steak and lobster, and be like, look, player, we asking you, not telling you, we asking you as a player to a player, can you please give us a pass to have these streets clean from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Right. Let that be for the kids. Let them the niggas be safe during those times. No gunshots, no drug dealers. From 11 p.m.
Yeah, Pac wanted the streets clean, man. You know what I'm saying? Pac wanted the streets clean. Nigga, from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So all you niggas out there in the street thinking y'all fucking, here, nigga, this is message time. Nigga, let me get to the big board, nigga. Oh, y'all got me fucked up out here. I'm just sipping on this motherfucking, get the likes up, man. This the remix with Kelly Dre. Listen, everybody thinking they emulate Pac on this street shit, and you thinking you doing Pac a service, and you thinking you standing on thug life and all that shit, bro. That was the image. That was the image, homie. That was to make the money. That was to get the bread. That was to get the lifestyle the way it needed to be to take care of the family. The real Tupac Shakur is sitting there planning with Monster Cody on how to politically take over power, how to politically take over the streets, how to make the streets safer for the kids from 6 to 11, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. No drug dealing, no gunshots, right? So I'm a real nigga, bro. I don't just rah the street shit just to rah the street shit. And niggas will tell you, my nigga Lil Steve in here right now. That's my A1 day one. He'll tell you. We didn't been out there and did, you know, we didn't see what it looked like. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like people gotta get their shit together, man. We need to get off this bullshit and start focusing on the real shit, man. You know, we can have fun, party and bullshit, all that, but you know, it all can't be about that. You know what I'm saying? The more time you spend on the bullshit, the less time you got for the real shit, man. This is how I feel about life. It's the remix with Kelly Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy.
To 6 a.m., y'all can have the streets back, but let us get the streets from these times. Then we can get these politicians. I talked to Al Sharpton. He said he can get the police to like chill out on those nighttime patrols if niggas can get the streets clean from 6 to 11.
Hey, but and you know,
look at that. So look at how this shit worked, right? Look at how this shit worked. He Pac on both sides. Pac connected to the streets. He connected to the politicians, man. And this is why I always push this political movement, because we in this country have to understand where the power lies, bro. We talk about wanting all this shit, wanting all this change, wanting all this shit, but we're not willing to stick together, create a lobby, create a political movement, and really get shit done. I'm gonna tell you, I did some research on some shit, right? On political power. Lobbyists control a lot of this shit. As everybody know, a lobbyist is just a bunch of lawyers up there arguing for your position with the government. That's all it is. But they getting paid top dollar, and they are, you know, advocating their ass off and greasing pockets and doing all kind of shit to get the votes going their way. So the research I did basically showed that you have a 60% chance of getting your legislation passed if you lobby for it. So black people out there, We got to find a way to come together on some way, level, shape, or form, and create a movement, create a lobby that's up there fighting for our interests, fighting for our reparations, fighting for our, continued liberties and advancement and opportunities in this land. If we don't do that, if we don't learn how to use our political capital, we just wasting time. Real shit.
You know what else too though? When I talk to you face to face, I'm gonna drop some shit on you, right? Some other stuff too, right? But yeah, that's that, man. I'm with all that, right? And that's
Monster Cody and Tupac.
Yeah, we need power, man.
I'm telling you, hey, dig it, man.
You need power. Listen to the conversation Pac is having, man. Pac is not talking about bitches. He's not talking about. He talking about power. You know what I'm saying? We need power. This is the most legendary, influential artist of my generation. You know what I'm saying? As far as hip hop is concerned, because I grew up with a lot of greats. Michael Jackson was also a part of that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of legends. You know what I mean? Muhammad Ali. He was alive during my time. I didn't grow up in the heyday of Ali, but I seen him. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of greats, but this brother right here, I think, is very influential in this time period that we're in now with all this political turmoil. This country is completely divided, and I think that a lot of what Pac was trying to get us to do was for this moment, like, to be real. You know what I'm saying? To have our shit together for when a moment like this and when these moments pop up, that we are ready to step into action and use our political voice to change the needle on shit. And we still ain't figured that shit out. And so, hopefully, hopefully, something we fucking do, bro. Get the lights up.
Some shit on you, right? Some other stuff too, right? But yeah, that's that, man. I'm with all that, right? And that's my type of work.
Yeah, we need power, man.
I'm telling you, hey, dig it, man.
We need power, man.
Hey, I'm telling you,
I agree.
We got power, man.
Yeah, we need power. Power is numbers, and it's like we rappers, man. While we don't have, we got the juice, we just ain't doing nothing with it.
Right. Listen to what Pac is saying right here. This is exactly how I feel. Like, I don't even need to narrate this shit. I'm just doing it because I have to. Like, I could just let this shit play. And this is an exact replica of what the fuck I'm up here screaming about and what the fuck I've been up here screaming about since I've been jumping my ass on this internet talking shit to you motherfuckers. And so, I hope y'all listening. You know what I'm saying?
Gunshots, no drug dealers. From 11 p.m. to 6 a.m., y'all can have the streets back. But let us get the streets from these times. Then we can get these politicians. I talked to Al Sharpton. He said he can get the police to, like, chill out on those nighttime patrols if niggas can get the streets clean from 6 to 11.
Hey, and you know what else?
Right. Al Sharpton said he can get the police to lay off their patrols. Think about how big that is. New York City, probably that's what they're talking about. He can get the NYPD to lay off of patrols if we can get the streets clean in the daytime for the kids and for the elderly people. Think about that world that Pac is trying to get us to. And think about these bullshit figures and activists that we got out here today and what they're doing with the juice and the resources that they have. And ask yourself, do it add up? Because it don't add up to me. Pac has always been the realest nigga, dead or alive, to me, because of shit like this. You know what I'm saying?
When I talk to you face to face, I'm gonna drop some shit on you, right? Some other stuff too, right? But yeah, that's that, man. I'm with all that, right? And that's my type of work.
Yeah, we need power, man.
I'm telling you, hey, dig it, man. Hey, I'm telling you. We got power, man.
Yeah, we need power. Power is numbers, and it's like we rappers, man. While we don't have, we got the juice, we just ain't doing nothing with it
because it ain't collectivized. Right. I tell you what. Did you see the cats in Chicago? I think they was GDs. They put people in the street.
I know they be looking out for me when I come out there,
and they be running. They be running people on the ticket like for council.
I know they got them. This dude, what's his name? Some nigga they just had out there, but he lost.
Yeah, Gator.
He came close. Gator, yeah. He came close though.
Yeah, there was some good cats too, man.
I went out there, they be looking out for me, but they be gang. So like the one set want me to be down with them, and the Blackstones want me to be with them, and the DDs be with them. But yeah, I had to run in with them in Milwaukee because that was when that little kid died, Yummy Sandiford.
Right, Yummy Sandiford. I was gonna bring that up, man. So if y'all don't remember the Yummy Sandifer situation. Yummy Sandifer was like 11, 12 years old. Had him out there. He's in the streets in Chicago. I think he ended up getting himself killed. Somebody shot him in the head. I think the dudes that shot him actually are out of jail now. Matter of fact, because they did a couple interviews, I remember. But this was a case that Tupac took very, very seriously and stood on stage and got at a bunch of Chicago gangsters over Yummy Sandifer losing his life. And again, that's this is why I fuck with Pac. This is why I'm doing this show, and this is why I, want to definitely shed light and give flowers to the OGs and to the legends, man, because these are what am I trying to say, man? These are the type of leaders that we need. You know what I'm saying? This is real leadership. This is what leadership looks like. You know what I'm saying? On a trying to connect the streets to the politics to advance the needle and make shit better out here. You know what I mean? And not just, putting a bunch of ass shaking and dope selling and liquor store drinking and a bunch of bullshit in your face to keep you distracted. You feel me? So again, Pac was a deep brother, man. Gemini, man, it's that Gemini shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Gemini, stand up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just definitely wanted to play this for y'all, man, because it gave me a lot of insight on just what Pac was thinking, what he was trying to put together for the people. And people always like, would he have been a politician? Would he have been, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he telling you in his own words what he wanted to try to put together and the plays he was trying to run. You know what I'm saying? Get the lights up.
Yeah, I heard you send a shout out to him.
Yeah, I did a show that next day after they just killed that kid.
Yeah.
Because you heard what happened, right?
Yeah, they executed him.
Right, they executed him, and I was out there when I did the show. The gang was in the fucking audience. The whole gang had bought out the stadium.
Damn.
So I'm rapping to the niggas that just killed this little kid, and they all screaming out "Thug Life," and I felt bad. Like, wait a minute, they got it twisted.
Yeah.
So I started cursing them niggas out, like y'all niggas.
So think about that, bro. Think about this story that Pac telling, right? The Yummy Sandifer story. Yummy Sandifer gang was at Pac's show screaming out "Thug Life," supporting the shit he rocking for this thug shit. You know what I'm saying? But Pac said he felt bad because he repping for the gang that just killed a little kid, that executed this little kid. So sometimes, man, we got to think about what we supporting and the politics that we trying to move, man, because the originator of Thug Life wasn't good with that. The originator of Thug Life wasn't good with executing a little kid. You know what I'm saying? And stood on all 10 on stage when the nigga whole gang was in the crowd. Y'all can go look that up. That's a very well documented event. It might be a little video out there on it. But just trying to get y'all to think bigger, man. Shift the narrative a little bit, man. I think as Black people, we always think shit always got to be the way it is. But I think Tupac was an example of, shit can be different if we make it different. If we push for it to be different. If we put the plans together and the plays together and the teams together and the dreams together, this shit can be different. You know what I mean? Salute, Nikki 901. Salute. Yeah, we just vibing out on this hip hop controversy night. You know what I'm saying? Controversy conversation. You know what I mean? I'm digging into this Pac and Big shit, but it's actually very much relevant to what I be talking about on this politics shit, because as Pac is illustrating to y'all the power. If y'all really want power, if y'all really want to change the power dynamic, it's got to be through the electoral process. You know what I'm saying? That's what this country is based on. And so that's why I always push the message of, hey, we got to come together as Black people ourselves. But B, we got to make our lives in this motherfucker, man. We all on the same ride. You know what I'm saying? And our numbers ain't as substantial as some of these other numbers. And so, we got history of working with people. We got history of putting plays together, but we got to do it ourselves first. We got to be confident in that. And then we got to build those relationships with the outside. And I think that's got to be the play for our long-term survival in this motherfucker, man, to be real. You know what I'm saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's some shit I covered in one of my other shows when I was breaking down the art of war. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we on this Pac and Monster Cody conversation. I appreciate y'all for rocking. This the remix with Cali Drake, man. Let's go.
What? Did you see them cats in Chicago? I think they was GDs.
Yeah.
They put people in the street.
I know they be looking out for me when I come out there.
And they be running. They be running people on the ticket like for council.
I know they got them. This dude, what's his name? Some nigga they just had out there, but he lost.
Yeah, Gator.
He came close. Gator. Yeah. He came close though.
Yeah, them some good cats too, man.
I went out there. They be looking out for him, but they be gang so like the one set want me to be down with them, and the Blackstones want me to be with them, and GD be with them. But yeah, I had to run in with them in Milwaukee because that was when that little kid died, Yummy Sandifer.
Yeah, I heard you sent a shout out to him.
Yeah, I had to do the show that next day after they just killed that kid.
Yeah.
Because you heard what happened, right?
Yeah, they executed him.
Right, they executed him, and I was out there when I did the show. The gang was in the fucking audience. The whole gang had like bought out the stadium.
Damn.
So I'm rapping to the niggas that just killed this little kid, and they all screaming out "Thug Life," and I felt bad. Like, wait a minute, they got it twisted.
Yeah.
So I started cursing them niggas out, like, y'all niggas is cowards. Y'all niggas cowards. Y'all killed that kid. Y'all niggas is punks, man. I hate all you niggas. I hurt all you. Them niggas start throwing shit. We had out in the stadium.
Damn.
It was tough, man. The whole gang tore up the whole neighborhood. But then I started getting letters from that area where all, like, the mothers, the girls was writing me, like, thank you for doing that, because everybody's scared of these niggas. See, that's what I want to do.
That's right.
I wonder if these gang niggas ain't going to get straight, then I want to take them out the gang.
That's real.
Because if they don't, it's making trouble on us.
Yeah, because if you ain't part of the solution, then
Look, man, Pac got the bigger picture, man. He saw the bigger picture, man. He definitely read Thug Life, but it wasn't all about doing a bunch of criminal activity and shit. He's saying if niggas can't get their shit together, if they can't really, you know what I'm saying, get their mind right and start helping the people, he gonna get them niggas out the way. This is Tupac Shakur, you know what I mean? Come on, man. This shit deep, man. This motherfucker right here that got the bigger picture and saw the bigger play, man. And that's why I'm playing this shit. Hopefully, you know, somebody else out there that's watching this show do too, man.
you part of the problem.
No doubt.
Therefore, you gonna be trying to whack us anyway.
No doubt.
See what I'm saying? So shit, you know, business as usual.
That's how I feel.
But just for the forces of good, man. You know, I'm with all that, Pac. You know, anytime, anything I can do, brother. You know, that's what I'm about, man. I've always been less of a talker, more of a doer.
All good.
And you know, I mean, that ain't, you know, that's just my style, man.
Yeah, no doubt. You talk to Bone?
Yeah, in fact, me and Bone,
He finna do something too.
yeah, Bone is doing, when they shoot the movie, Bone's doing a documentary called The Making of Monster, right?
Oh, he is?
Yeah, and he's also doing another documentary, man, about street
gangbanging.
Yeah, about street organizations.
Yeah.
Got some old footage from the Panthers and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, the shit is fat, man. How's Mom's doing?
She doing good. We
That's
just
good.
had a show in Vegas.
Did she?
We had a big-ass show in Vegas, me and the dog, because I'm on death row now.
Yeah, hey, man, congratulations.
Thanks,
You
man.
happy over there?
Yeah, that's all right so far. So, let me...
See, look. There we go. Look, man, listen, I'll be picking up on shit, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, Monster Cody. Hey, this is right when Pac joined Death Row. And Monster Cody asked Pac, are you happy over there? Let's hear what Pac response is to that.
Documentary, man, about
gangbanging.
Yeah, about street organizations.
Yeah.
Got some old footage from the Panthers and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, the shit is fat, man. How's Mom's doing?
She doing good. We
That's
just
good.
had a show in Vegas.
Did she?
We had a big-ass show in Vegas, me and the dog, because I'm on death row now.
Yeah, hey, man, congratulations.
Thanks,
You
man.
happy over there?
Yeah, that's all right so far. So, let me tell you. Hold on one second.
All right.
Yeah, it's all right so far. Yeah, it's all right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this was initially his part when he first got to Death Row. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? He fresh out of jail. You know what I mean? You would think, yeah, I'm juiced up, man. I'm ecstatic. I'm lit. His answer was yes. All right over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, here, let me play it one more time so I don't get it out of context.
Me and the dog, because I'm on death row now.
Yeah, hey, man, congratulations.
Thanks,
You
man.
happy over there?
Yeah, that's all right so far. So, let me tell you. Hold on one second.
All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know what y'all took from that, but I took a little something from that. You know what I mean? Let me see. Let me skip along a little bit, see what else they chopping it up about. Pac and put him on hold and shit. Ain't no telling what the fuck Pac
I'm
got
smoking
going
weed
on.
right now.
Nah, cigarette.
Oh.
I will be smoking some weed. My homeboy's gonna come over here right now. But the girl that did this rape shit, she hooked up with the niggas that shot me.
Oh, is that right?
It's all connected. It was a big plan. I just caught it like at the end, and that's why they shot me.
Man, hey, man, you got to stay up, man. When you step through that way, man, you got to be on point,
I ain't
brother.
going through there no more.
Okay, so why he say? Hold on. He said that's why they shot him. Why he say they shot him, man? Let me run that. Let me spin that back.
Right now, huh? You smoking weed right now?
Nah, cigarette.
Oh.
I will be smoking some weed. My homeboy's gonna come over here right now. But the girl that did this rape shit, she hooked up with the niggas that shot me.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, there it is. There it is right there. So look, as I was telling y'all, and against all odds, 21 gun salute, Pac mentions. Let me let y'all hear what Pac said. Let me let y'all hear what Pac said. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let y'all hear it out of Pac mouth.
with my homeboys gonna come out here right now. But the girl that did this rape shit, she hooked up with the niggas that shot me.
Oh, is that right?
The girl that did this grape shit, she hooked up with the niggas that shot me. Now, from what I understand, the girl that did the grape shit was Haitian Jack, work or Haitian Jack had initiated the whole thing with her first, and I believe brought her back to the spot. And so that's again a little bit more information, man.
It's all connected. It was a big plan. I just caught it like at the end, and that's why they shot me.
Man,
it was all connected. It was a big plan. I caught it at the end, and that's why they shot me. This is from Tupac Shakur on mouth, the Monster Cody on the Quad Studio shooting. Get the lights down.
They get that nigga a ticket tape parade.
Straight up.
Unarmed man. 2 motherfuckers. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
So they suing me. I got this girl who lied about the rape shit.
You smoking weed right now, huh? You smoking weed right now?
Nah, cigarette.
Oh.
So out of Pac on mouth, this girl who lied about the grape shit. So she most definitely lied, according to Pac. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. 2 motherfuckers. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
So they suing me. I got this girl who lied about the rape shit.
You smoking weed right now, huh? You smoking weed right now?
Nah, cigarette.
Oh.
I will be focusing with my homeboys gonna come out here right now.
Yeah.
But the girl that did this rape shit, she hooked up with the niggas that shot me.
Oh, is that right?
It's all connected. It was a big plan. I just caught it like at the end, and that's why they shot me.
Man, hey man, you gotta stay up, man. When you step through that way, man, you gotta be on point.
I ain't going through there no more. If I do, I'm going with 100 motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'll be one of them.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. We can't be having you not here. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's what killed me, but you know what? You know what it was? Here's my problem. Just like I'm feeling you, what you saying. I always, because I'm where my mom raised me, the way the movement is, they fuck my head up in a way. See, like you could be movement orientated, but you got the gangbang shit first in your mind.
Right.
My shit, the gangbang shit comes second to me.
Right.
And now I'm trying to make it come first because that movement shit will fuck you up. Movement.
There it is. So you kind of get a sense of where Pac head was, right? He telling Monster Cody the gangbang shit come first for you, the movement second. For me, the gangbang shit comes second, the movement is first, but he's switching. But he letting you know right there, he just signed with Death Row and he about to switch the page. And he about to put the gangbang shit first because the movement was got him shot the first time and got him in this situation. So this give you a little insight on what Pac mindset was, man, and how he was viewing what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? I think this shit this is very explosive type shit, man. If you follow this case and you follow, the history of the game like that, you feel me? But yeah, what's up, relative? Salute to you, man. I see you just joined this shit. I appreciate you for rocking this. The remix with Cali Dre. That's what I do, relative. You feel me? So make sure you stay tapped in with me. And I'm gonna stay tapped in with you all day.
Got me loving every brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And therefore, you let every brother get next to you,
right?
And every brother got a chance to whack you.
I'm there for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nigga need money, a job. I'm with you. Niggas come up to me with guns on. Niggas be hugging me with techs on. You know what I mean?
But dig this though. You know what? The thing is, man. We got to be individuals too inside the movement and whatever we're involved in, right? Mm-hmm. We got to be able to differentiate between cats that are firm and cats that ain't firm. And sometimes it takes some time of a test, right? Mm-hmm. But when we talk about, for instance, me, man, I am who I am. I survived through what I survived through by being intelligent, by not allowing cats to outsmart me, put me in precarious position where I can get whacked, right? Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is a real gangster right here, man. This is Monster Cody. This is a real gangster. Yeah, hey, relative, I'm so happy to see you, man. My cousin and my family, my real family in here. You know what I mean? Pulling up on your boy. I appreciate that, man. Just out here vibing on this Pac shit, trying to push this real politics on our people and get them to get their shit together so we can make some real moves out this motherfucker, man. But Pac, Monster Cody, they ain't here chopping it up on some grown man shit about the plans they was trying to put in motion. And you know what I'm saying? I think this part of the conversation is definitely very influential and very, very, interesting, man. So let's check this out.
I choose my friends very, very carefully. And I understand that there's layers and layers of friends. You see, there's some I hold close to the body, man, like a vest, and there's others I hold at arm's distance, and some I just look at. And,
yeah, let me spin that. I want to hear that again.
But when we talk about friends,
Hear that again, man. Hey, they kicking some real grown
For
man
instance,
game
me,
right
man,
now,
you know, I am who I am. I survived through what I survived through by being intelligent, by not allowing cats to outsmart me, put me in.
Right. And that's what I wanted to say too, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all think this street shit is about being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? About doing dumb shit. As you can see, one of the most legendary, well-known gangsters that there ever was, you know what I'm saying, is telling y'all, nah, you gotta survive out here with intelligence. You gotta have your mind right. Use your head for more than a motherfucking hat rack. Than a motherfucking bonnet rack for you ladies out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is how I see the game. You know what I'm saying? This is the shit I grew up on. This was my influence. And this is why I stand on the shit I stand on, the way I stand on what I stand on. You know what I'm saying? Get the lights up, man. It's the remix with Kelly Drake. I appreciate y'all for rocking, man.
Carries position where I can get whacked, right? So I choose my friends very, very carefully. And I understand that there's layers and layers of friends. You see, there's some I hold close to the body, man, like a vest, and there's others I hold at arm's distance, and some I just look at, and some I don't even fuck with, right? But the circle is small, but the ones that are in there, I believe are trustworthy, right? For instance, you and I have been primarily through the same shit, man, in our lives.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And we're like 10 years apart almost. So it's like you and I share a almost common destiny. You know, what you grew up in is what I came around to. You see what I'm saying? Like you pointed out that the banging shit was first with me, and then the movement. With you, the movement was first, and then the banging came second.
Yes, that's the ill shit.
I'm getting around to where you grew up at.
And I'm getting around the way you grew up.
You see, so who else?
Damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. I think, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That shit just gave me a motherfucking chill right there, man. This is some real grown man street conversation right here, man. Two legends, man. Two legends in the street. You know what I'm saying? Two legends in the overall scheme of definitely West Coast culture, Black culture, street culture, gang culture, you know what I'm saying? Business culture, you know what I mean? All that. And listen to what they chopping it up about, man.
Look at, and some I don't even fuck with, right? But the circle is small, but the ones that are in there, I believe are trustworthy, right? For instance, you and I have been primarily through the same shit, man, in our lives.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And we're like 10 years apart almost. So it's like you and I share a almost common destiny. You know, what you grew up in is what I came around to. You see what I'm saying? Like you pointed out that the banging shit was first with me, and then the movement. With you, the movement was first, and then the banging came second.
Yes, that's the ill shit.
I'm getting around to where you grew up at.
And I'm getting around the way you grew up
at. You see, so who?
Damn, right there. Damn, that shit fuck with me. Pac say I'm getting around where you grew up at, and Monster say I'm getting around to where you grew up at. That's the shift I'm talking about right there, man. You know what I'm saying? He had just joined Death Row, and he was going full speed with this shit, and that gives you a little insight of why he made the move that he made at the casino at the MGM in Vegas against Orlando Anderson. Man, that's what he was on. That's what he was standing on. And Pac was the type of nigga, that's what he on. That's what he's standing on. Neckbone actually spoke on that situation because he was there. He was in the huddle when Pac came in the huddle and then dipped off and did what he did. And so I definitely, I might not have time to run that tonight, but we're going to revisit this, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seem to be, you know what I mean, pretty interested in this shit. I enjoy covering it for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? So most definitely keep tapping in with your boy. But we're going to run this video, man. I found this video today. I thought it was pretty impactful, man. Give you an insight of where Pac mind was and where Monster mind was too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, these boys, man, they on some powerful shit right now. Let's go.
Else better, you see who can get along than you and I, and watch each other's back. Because you want it, I want it.
No doubt.
Together, but you know what I mean. You know, you man, you got the courage of a gunfighter. When I read that shit, what happened when Dream Hampton wrote that piece down there with the pigs, right?
Yeah.
I was like, it's my boy, man.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? See, that's another problem. I'm helping another nigga. Nigga, I don't even know. Nigga in the middle of the street getting beat up. I'm helping him. He run off and don't even help me.
Yeah. That's fucked up, man.
These niggas is shot like when
So look, Pac talking about when he shot the two cops, right? It was two off-duty officers. Tupac ended up shooting. They say he shot, got on one knee and did a sharpshooter, like 50, 60 yards away type shit, right? Hit the two cops. But he's saying, he's speaking about the incident. The off-duty cops were beating the shit out of another black dude. Pac pulls up to try to help that dude. That dude runs off, don't even help Pac. So, hey, listen. lessons in life, man. Sometimes you just gotta let shit play out the way it play. But you know, that actually catapulted Pac into being a legend, man, because he got off with, you know what I'm saying, with that case. And at that time, if y'all remember, this is around Rodney King, this is around OJ, this is around a lot of, you know, unrest out here in the nation as far as, you know, black people's treatment, and black people was really feeling some type of way at this time. You got Public Enemy, you got Queen Latifah, you got, you know, all these things. You got the Black Medallion, the Black Fist, Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, became, you know, at the on everybody's lips around that time. You feel me? So it just was a whole like black consciousness movement, and you know, Pac was definitely a big microphone for that. You know what I'm saying?
See that when the white cats pulled the gun on me, I was prepared. You know what I mean? I can react. When a nigga pulled the gun on me, I like froze up, like, oh shit, a nigga gonna kill me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, know, we should talk.
And listen, Pac cousin actually spoke on that, right? She said that Pac was very much hurt that black people was the ones that put a trigger on him. He never thought that black people would put a trigger on him, and as he just told you, he like, man, white people put a gun on me, and then I ain't tripping, but like, damn, black people put a gun on me, like, if they fuck me up.
Put the gun on me, I was prepared.
When Dream Hampton wrote that piece down there with the pigs, right?
Yeah.
I was like, it's my boy, man.
No, you know what I'm saying? See, that's another problem. I'm helping another nigga I don't even know. Yeah. Nigga in the middle of the street getting beat up, I'm helping him. He run off.
Right. Listen to what Pac said. That's my other problem though. So this shit is like kind of prophetic, man, to be real with you, because Pac, he already knew what type of nigga he was. He had that kind of self-awareness, you know what I'm saying? And it seemed like in this situation, he was trying to help out a motherfucker he ain't know. You know what I'm saying? And then in the MGM situation, he taking off for a situation he had nothing to do with, and he wasn't even there for. It's just that was in his character, that's who he was, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he was standing on. And so just get a lot of insight on who this man really was, man, aside from the image that the media will try to portray to you. You know what I'm saying?
Who up at?
And I'm getting around the way you grew up.
You see, so who else better? You see, who can get along than you and I?
No.
Pigs, right?
Yeah.
I was like, it's my boy, man.
No, you know what I'm saying? See, that's another problem. I'm helping another nigga I don't even know. Yeah. Nigga in the middle of the street getting beat up, I'm helping him. He run off and don't even help me.
Yeah. That's fucked up, man.
These niggas, damn, that's like, when the white cats pulled the gun on me, I was prepared. You know what I mean? I can react. When a nigga pulled the gun on me, I like froze up, like, oh shit, a nigga gonna kill me.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you know what we should do, Pop? I'm telling you, me and you should sit down, right? And we should do a book on you, man.
Yeah?
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna try to do that.
Check it out, man. A straight up autobiography or something like that based on your life, like Malcolm had sat down with Alex Haley. I'm telling you, man, because the shit that you've been through and I've been through, just like my book, man, I had to document that shit.
Hey, your book is on everything, homie. I'm not just saying this. Your shit is a classic.
I'm telling you.
Listen, man, these is two gangsters. This is why I'm playing this shit. I wasn't even gonna play all this shit, but I think this shit is so impactful, man. And this is two thug life and a real gangster. Speaking about writing books on each other, putting books out. So again, when y'all think y'all on that thug shit, when y'all think y'all on that gangster shit, find out what this shit really be about, man.
Yo, it's niggas, when I was up in that jailhouse, niggas who hated West Side, they don't like nothing, they was loving you. I had motherfuckers speechless. They was reading, niggas that can't read was reading this shit in one day.
Yeah.
Nobody could put that shit down.
But I'm telling you, hey, but yours would be just as explosive, and I'm telling you, brother, I guarantee you, before we even get through with the book, Hollywood will be on our job.
You know,
I'm telling you, man.
They already want me to do something. I've been holding them back because I can't get the right one. I asked, like, Maya Angelou to help me write an autobiography. She was like, okay,
man,
but it's a time thing.
You know what you need? And also, too, you know what you need? Somebody to write it from our level.
Yeah.
To kick the slang, to have this shit right. Maya Angelou might put some perfect English in that motherfucker.
And it ain't gonna come out right.
You know, you and I, we gonna kick the language we kick.
That shit gotta be like your shit.
I'm telling you.
Hey, but you know what you gotta put me hip to?
What?
Overstand.
I'm telling you.
Put me hip to overstand,
okay,
man.
dig it. This is the thing. All right.
Lil Monster tried to do it one time, but I ain't catch it.
Okay, dig it. The word understand it's a play on one's person, right? For instance, understand, to stand under, to be below, to be demeaned. And so when you're under anything, it's hard for you to get a whole view of what's going on above ground. So when you're under, you have a disadvantage. So, or especially when you're standing under someone or under anything, you can't comprehend it, you can't feel it, you can't vibe with it. So I created the word overstand, to get up over that shit, to get a vantage point where you're looking down on some shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, another thing that I always say on this show, man, shit, I'm like 13, 14 shows at this point, so I can say always. But the one thing I always say, bro, is words matter. You know what I'm saying? How motherfuckers use words matter. And Monster Cody is giving you an illustration of that right there. Words are important. Words matter. How a motherfucker say some shit, how he describes some shit, gives you an insight not only of what he's describing, but also into that person. And so pay attention to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Like a helicopter got a vantage point over us when we have to get in the street and break.
Right.
They can see us better than the pig call at our level. So
I like that.
The helicopter has an overstanding of us to a great degree. You see what I'm saying? So what we have to do, and words control people, man. I'm telling you, when you think, when you speak positive, you think positive. So all the time, I be trying to overstand shit, get a full comprehension.
That's right.
You feel me?
That's right.
So yeah, that's where that came from. That concept came from.
Man, I'm so happy you about that shit, man.
Man, they had me on A. They had me like Pops. They had me like Pops.
I know.
I'm telling you, me and Pop was like, because when they had Matulu over at Marion, right? You know, we were getting our correspondence on, and he sent me the third code. You know, of course I endorsed it, right? Then next thing I know, I got a clipping on prisoners of war, and they had sent him over thorns. So then we had to do a whole nother trip with the mail, right? And then I just heard that
Matulu Shakur,
Ken had drowned it.
The pops he claimed is his pops, and Monster Cody actually, I guess, was locked up together. And so they kind of detailing what's going on and what went on with that situation. This is the remix with Cali Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy on this hip hop controversy and conversation night. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments how y'all feeling about this content.
But he's well now. All right now. He's not well now, ain't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. He was on respiratory.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm in jail too. They telling me this shit.
Yeah.
But the shit that's fucked up is like when Matulu, like me and him used to talk all the time. When I first came to LA, he was like my eyes and ears. I told him everything. Then I think the crackers got a hit that he was like, we was talking every day.
Yeah.
And they just killed that shit. I haven't talked to him in like a year, more than that.
But still, they, you know, of course.
So Pac is saying that he was talking to Matulu Shakur every day, and they killed that shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you understand what the Black Panther is all about, if you understand what, you know, the struggle that Pac was fighting against was about, as far as the government and its overreach and its you know, cover-ups. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, man, because Pac again spoke out about these things and was aware of these things, that being a baby Black Panther like he was, but in my opinion, also a part of the largest cover-up, or one of the top 2 or 3 largest cover-ups in the history of this country, man. Sometimes life is just ironic like that.
You got legacy movement problems with the pigs. They can't stand to see you, brother, because you of the bloodline.
You ain't lying.
You got them deep roots.
They's calling me. Hold on, one more time.
Yeah, let me skip through this a little bit. Pac put him on hold and shit. He got
the police no matter what. I had no white people calling me a nigga and nothing happened. And they like hitting a nigga in the nuts and all that shit. Yeah. You ain't lying. I get up there, these motherfuckers calling me nigga, and I'm bugging out. I never had no white people calling me a nigga and nothing happened. And in this jail I was at, you get 7 years if you touch the police no matter what. What? 7 years no matter what. Because I was in maximum security.
At Dannemora, huh?
And Dannemora. Yeah. Then they had me in a special program, like a federal program they got called APPU, Advanced Placement, something.
Yeah.
Where it's all like notorious motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So I'm up in there with niggas with 80. Damn, one more time.
Right.
Yeah, Pac shit blowing up.
I'm up in there with niggas with 80 years, 60 years, and I'm doing 1.5 to 4.5.
Yeah.
And I'm knowing my life in danger. These niggas ain't never getting out.
Yeah, I seen moms on Teen Summit. She was explaining that, right? That they had you in the maximum security prison.
Yeah.
And I was like,
locked down 23 hours a day.
That's how they had me.
Before I even broke a rule.
And that's heavy. They didn't even give you the opportunity to break one.
They was like, it's for my own protection because I wouldn't sign into PC.
Oh, fuck that.
So they
shit.
got mad, right? Because
Yeah.
he was telling me, you're going to die in here. You're going to die in here. I said, well, I'm going to just have to die. I'm not signing no PC.
That's
He's
right.
like, well, we're going to put you in IPC. That's involuntary protective custody.
Right.
So I'm fighting. I'm getting lawyers to fight me to get out of IPC to get me in population. Because they put me in population the first day I got there, right?
Was it cool?
Huh?
Was it
Hell yeah. Even though I'm on the other side, I'm with all enemies. These niggas hate me because I'm throwing the west side. I'm
That's
banging
right.
on the east coast.
That's
I'm
right.
screaming west side, nigga.
That's right.
Any team, everything. So but when I get there, the pigs didn't give me no they didn't give me no toiletries. You know, when you come there,
Yeah.
you get that
Those
cot
fish
and don't
kit,
be nothing else. They made me like it was a bloody cot, blood all on the cot, no nothing. They left me in population for like 2 hours. In 2 hours, I had everything I needed. Niggas brought me toothpaste, toothbrushes,
That's
a
cool.
banger. Niggas was bringing me knives, weed, heroin, cocaine, everything I wanted. I was like, nah, I'm cool, homie. I don't
That's
need
real.
that. I gave niggas the bangers back. I didn't want no bangers. They weren't about to set me up for nothing.
That's
It was
real.
3
Yeah, so Pac was he detailing his time inside when he got locked up, and him and Monster Cody having this conversation, man. I thought this was pretty powerful. It's almost over, man. But this the remix with Kelly Dre. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy.
murders there while I was there.
Damn, I bet shit was jumping up. You was like, damn,
We had the highest level of murders in New York State. Niggas
Damn.
was getting murdered, man. Niggas with the same time I was having.
Dannemora, huh?
Yep, they crazy up there.
It was popping.
Crazy up there. Riot,
You know
they had
what?
riot.
They been hooking you up on the videos. Were you happy with your videos?
Yeah, no doubt. I wanted just to keep my face out there.
Yeah, they shot that shit.
Yeah, we finna shoot another video this Wednesday.
That's cool, man.
Me and Dre finna do this shit called California Love with Roger.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be the bomb, man. Give it up for California, man.
Yeah, I'll be glad to see you back out there too, man.
Oh, I got to take it all back, man. I won't be happy till I do it because they got to be sorry for what they did.
I'm telling you, hey, I'm with you, man.
We got to,
Hey,
man.
but check it out. I want to come down and chill with you, man.
Come on, man. What's up? I be having operations from the bottom.
Yeah.
They be up in there with me kicking it.
Yeah, I like them. I
Big
gave a
flip
shout out
side.
to them, yeah. But I'm telling you, I got some lyrics, man.
Come on, if you come with some lyrics, you can spit on any one of the songs I got.
I got some shit, I'm telling you.
That's for sure. We can
Let's
do
go.
it all. You just got to come on. I'm in the studio today. I'm in the studio every day.
Okay, but what about Friday?
Friday, I'll be there. That's what Sister Soldier coming too.
Okay,
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bit of that, man. I wanted to give y'all a little bit of that history. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. I appreciate y'all for rocking. This the remix with Kelly Dre. Subscribe to the channels, man. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? TikTok, you know what I mean? Shit, wherever the fuck y'all want me to be at, you know what I mean? Let me know. I'll pull up over there. But yeah, Uncle G said the interview with that guard that worked at the prison, definitely a good one too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out. I don't think I peeped that out, Uncle G. You know what I'm saying? I have to check that out, man. I appreciate you bringing that game to me. But just the remix with Kelly Dre, man. We on some hip hop conversation and controversy tonight, man. I want to bring a little something different tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna dig deeper into this, man. You know what I mean? This is just the first, installment of this. I may try to do this like every week to break this down because it's a lot more information. When I say this is the biggest cover-up in the history of this country, man, one of the top maybe 2 or 3 biggest cover-ups in the history of this country. I'm not exaggerating, but it's gonna take some time to break that down and lay it all out for y'all properly so y'all can understand. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we're gonna do over here, man. I'm about good information. You know what I mean? I think good information leads to good decision making. As you see, these two, you know what I'm saying, Thug Life and a real gangster talking about books, talking about politics, talking about power, talking about putting plays together, talking about having the streets clean from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Like that's real leadership right there. And that's what's lacking. And that's the type of shit I see when I you know what I mean, was following Pac's career, you know what I'm saying? And how he moved. And that's the type of shit I always respected because again, the way I grew up, man, is like Black consciousness. Most definitely, I grew up in the heart of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So Black consciousness was definitely a part of how I grew up and was at the forefront. My mom used to take me out of school, go watch all the Black movies and shit. We leaving school to go watch Malcolm X. Like, nah, this is some important shit. Like, you need to understand what's going on with this shit. You feel me? And so, I totally overstand. You know what I'm saying? Where both of these brothers is coming from, and that's the embodiment of what I try to create with this channel. All the shit that they talking about right here in this video and putting Black people together, getting shit the way it need to be from a certain time, and then let shit be the way it got to be the other time. But we need to have a carved out space for us to have safety so that we can succeed and survive and advance. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, man. It's the remix with Cali Dre. I'm gonna definitely bring some of this back, bring this topic back, probably try to do a volume 2, and you know what I mean, however many volumes it take for me to get to my ultimate end and conclusion, which is, yeah, it's a lot more information out there about the demise of these two superstars that people know about. And so I'm gonna bring it to the forefront, and I'm gonna put it in some episodes and shit, and hopefully y'all rock with it, man. But yeah, this is a dope show, man. I think, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely into it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I thought it was dope, so shit, that's all that mattered, man. You know what I mean? Get the likes up, you know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy. This the remix with Cali Drake, man. I'm finna get the fuck out of here, probably hit these streets a little bit, do my one too. But yeah, I'll definitely be back, man. I might be back tomorrow. I might be back tomorrow on some politics shit. I was trying to put a show together today, and you know what I'm saying? My politics kind of, you know what I mean? Fell apart, shit. But I stay ready, man. Like Sugar Free said, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready, man. So I had a couple, you know, show ideas that I wanted to do. I'm actually glad I did this show. Something I've been thinking about doing, breaking this shit down, but I didn't know, you know what I mean? How it would go. Motherfuckers be feeling it or not. So let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this shit. And we'll be back with another one, man. This the remix with Cali Dre. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. And
Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mama about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundromat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my